Good afternoon. Greetings.
Yeah, how you doing it?
All is well. How are you? How's everybody?
Fantastic.
All right, all right. Yes, yes. We're gonna wait for some people to pull up and then we're gonna get to the session. I was gonna drop a whole bunch of PDFs, but I took the advice and I'm gonna wait because I realized that when everybody comes in later, they don't even see it. I thought that it kind of showed up, but I guess it doesn't. So I'll just wait to start dropping these PDFs, but we got a lot of them. I've been using the I've been using my chat bots to kind of like to create PDFs for us, you know what I'm saying? And I'll show everybody the process of sending, YouTube videos and Instagram and TikTok videos to your Clawbot or your Hermes or your Manus Claw, and it will translate it or transcript it and literally create a PDF or any form of, you could change it. You could turn it into a interactive slide. You could turn it into presentations. You could turn it into PDFs. And that has cut so much time for me because literally before I had to do a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna drop some stuff in here for y'all. Um, yeah. And we're gonna watch some videos as well before we even get started today because I've come across some YouTube tutorial videos that will definitely benefit every single one of us that are on this creative journey and whatnot. So in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna pull up the first video and we'll get to watching that and then after we go through that then we'll get to some creativity and some sharing of creatives, some creative output sharing and things of that nature. But has anybody in the class right now, have y'all was able to use anything from last night's session, like any of the prompts or anything to your benefit?
Hey, Red, it's Shanita. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing, Shanita?
I'm pretty good. I'm just confused because I didn't get notification of last night's class. I think that's what's been like the major, like since I joined, I did send you an email. I'm not getting those notifications. I did get the one about today. I don't get the ones about class, so I miss every class. But I joined on in February the 23rd, but like in your message to me, I don't know if you have me as free, but I paid and I'm not free. I didn't, and I got kicked out of classroom on school. And I've always been entered into classroom. So I'm just so confused about what's going on. Can you like tell me like what's because I don't
Yeah.
I never got a response. I don't know if anybody else got kicked out, but I feel like I'm the only one that got kicked out. Classroom, I'm feeling some kind of way about that though. But
Nah, nah, don't feel no type of way. I will actually have to go to my team and just ask what's going on with that situation and whatnot. But what I do know is when it comes to the workshop, those are definitely for paid only. And I'll let my team know about that fact, and we'll definitely be able to get back to you. And whatever classes that you miss, you'll be provided the files, the classes along with the files, which are like the PDFs and the study guides and everything. And pardon me for any inconvenience.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, because I was like yesterday I had the whole day. Usually I just log. I don't try to watch anything. I just go into classroom on
Right.
school. So because I'm not even advanced to go beyond the lessons because I'm so far behind. But I only log into school. And yesterday I was like, yay, I got a whole day. Let me catch up. And
Right.
I was locked out. I'm like, what the? It was crazy.
Right.
So it's just been like I'm missing notifications. I wanted to be with y'all in class yesterday. I didn't even get that notification that class was happening because it's not on the calendar. I think I addressed that last Saturday. that I'm not seeing it on the school calendar. Um,
Right.
yeah, because it didn't like even if I'm looking at calendar now, it doesn't show that. You'll see if you scroll back on the like the general community comments. I'm up in there like, hey, are we having class? What's going on? And like I'm always
Right.
lost. So I feel like because I joined late, I didn't join. I joined after you launched, and I've been playing catch up ever since. So that's
Right, right. First of all, with the calendar, I do have to I had said it before. That calendar isn't accurate in terms. I think that's like something the school kind of automatically put certain classes on that. Those aren't necessarily our, because you'll notice that there'll be like certain classes happening and nobody's there because
yeah.
that is somewhat of a, I gotta fix that. I don't want to make excuses. I definitely have to fix that because there are things that we do and that's not even on the calendar, like the vibe sessions and the
Mm.
Friday classes. I have to be more, I have to put that into the hands of the team, and we got to get that fixed like immediately. And as for the whole classroom thing, like I said,
Imaginarium. Because if you look on Imaginarium, I'm only 9% through. Like I've only gotten through 9%. Like I've always had access up until yesterday. I don't know what happened, but I don't try to go into like fantasy or 100 income stream. I don't try to go to any of that because I'm not. I'm still working on this, but
right, getting that ready, right.
that yeah. So yeah, if I could get back into my access, that would be great. I want to try to get caught up with you guys. Everybody, I see the work that y'all are doing. I'm like, I need to be doing that. I'm here.
Yes,
I need to be getting on it. So yeah, if
yes.
you could
So
get that
here's
fixed for
my,
me.
here's the, let me pull up the calendar. Right. So this calendar here, we definitely have. And another thing as well for the calendar, because we have students now who are considered to be, well seasoned and whatnot. We've been through all of these sessions. I'm actually willing to open up some of these classrooms and these classes so we could actually have a community type of teaching thing, like the prompt battle, um, you know, the theme weeks and stuff like that we could definitely start doing things like that. It would just have to be a little more group effort, you know what I'm saying, on the group's behalf, like, you know everybody working together. I'll be there. It's just that I might not be able to make every single one of these classes and basically lead the classes and things of that nature, but I'll definitely be in the class so we could work together in that type of situation. But like when it comes to the sessions, the Zooms, and when it comes to the Saturday vibe sessions, I'm definitely always there for that. That's a no-brainer, you know. But for like the prompt battles, that could be something that the community does. You feel me? Because we've been dropping these prompt guides, which is something that, let me do this right now. Let me get you and anybody else that needs a little bit of catching up. Let me drop some things in here so we could get these prompt guides, and that will be very, very beneficial in terms of, just prompting things. That's what we've been using. Some of the outputs that you're seeing, it's a result of the prompt guides. So let me drop this one right here. And we're also going to use this today in class. This is the prompt collection. I believe this one is where you can make yourself like a toy. You could turn pictures into like toys and whatnot. This is another prompt book right here. Okay. This has some great prompts in it. I've been using this to make videos. This one right here, this is for Claude, right? Because we've been talking about Claude. We've been discovering Claude. We see how powerful Claude is. So, like, Claude, and then Claude switched up and they could do videos and they could do images now. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna master this Claude thing. So this is 200 powerful Claude prompts. I'm dropping that right in there. And then the next one, I don't want to overload. This next one right here is 7 prompts that will outperform 99% of agents. No, no, no. Hold on. I'm gonna do this. So these are some prompts that you could use through Claude, and it would give you better results than even agents working. And then the last one is going to be 7 Claude prompts to automate your business because a lot of people want their businesses to be automated. I've been, like I said last night in the assessment test, that's like 75% of the answers that people are just trying to get their time back. They're trying to get into automations and whatnot. And that is to me, outside of agents and all of that other stuff, the automation is probably one of the best use cases of AI in terms of practice, in terms of tangibility, practicality, think kinetic knowledge, like something that you could do right now and immediately see the results of it and immediately see how that could get you your time back and immediately see how that benefits anyone. I don't care if we are unemployed, self-employed, or we got 12 jobs. It is going to change how things go and it's going to make sense and you'll be like, I want to do more of that. Yeah, I want to automate. I'm going to write out a whole list of tasks that I do that a machine can take over. Because of course we got human tasks and a machine cannot take those over. But for the machine tasks, checking the emails, replying to the emails, sending out the emails. If you have an Etsy store, writing out the descriptions. If you have a Shopify store, writing the descriptions, the SQUs, and all of that stuff could be automated. To get that out the way, move that to the side. That could be done on a daily basis. There's so many new apps that popped up, or tools for that matter, that are like speeding up that process. So these books right here, these prompt books right here that I dropped, these are going to benefit everyone who is a part of the Imaginarium, whether you're just coming here for the first session or if you've been here through all 13. These prompts are dedicated to everything that we've been building on and whatnot. So what I want to do is I want to watch a video on YouTube, and that video is literally going to give us some of the insight moving forward that we need. You know what I mean? Some of these new, it's just going to give you some insight on some of the new things that have dropped and how that could benefit us. All right. So let me go and pull this up. Open claw. Okay, so this one is about Claude and it's editing videos, um, which is great because that could be a very tedious task and it deters people from actually participating sometimes because they'll be like, nah, I'm tapping out because I don't edit videos. I don't know who to find that can edit videos. And then sometimes if you find somebody, they are dragging their feet. They might charge you too much. You know what I mean? So this cuts everything out.
Stop editing your videos. Manual editing is completely obsolete. What you are watching right now was not made in Premiere Pro or After Effects. It was entirely coded by AI. With zero editing or coding experience required, you can now turn one simple text prompt into a complete high-end marketing asset. Whether you need high-converting local ads or cinematic YouTube B-roll, Claude AI calculates the math, builds the motion graphics, and renders the video for you. Let us get to work. First, open your web browser, search for Claude AI Desktop, go to the official Anthropic website, download and install the application. Quick heads up, you'll need the paid plan for this. I'll show you why it's worth it in a second. It is an investment in your daily efficiency. To make this work, we must give Claude a local engine. we use a free developer tool called Node.js. Go to nodejs.org. Select your operating system. I'm clicking Windows. Download the recommended stable version. Do not download the experimental beta. Open the downloaded installer file. A setup wizard will appear on your screen. Click Next.
I'll pause that. So if anybody wants to go ahead and download or get node.js, you could go ahead and do that. I don't want these videos to go so fast that people are being left in the dust and they're like, hold on. So I'll pause that for a few minutes. Go and check it out. You don't have to necessarily do the process of download it. Just open up the tab. So when you return to it, you could go ahead and get busy and whatnot. You feel me? But these are those little intricacies that you don't necessarily know unless you watch these videos, and they give you the you know what I'm saying? It gives you some of those things that you need to know. Because we could go ahead and be doing things and miss one little setup, and it'll restrict it will restrict the process. It'll become an error.
Accept the software license agreement. Leave every single default setting exactly as it is. Do not change the installation drive. Click Install. The engine is fully built. Next, we need to create a dedicated workspace. Go to your computer desktop, create a brand new empty folder. Name it AI Videos. Now, open your new Claude desktop app. Look at the top right corner of the interface. Click the tab labeled Code. Click the button that says Select Folder. Choose the empty AI Videos folder we just created. Your workspace is now securely linked. But Claude cannot make videos yet. We have to hand it the instruction manual. Go to the chat box at the bottom of the app. Type exactly this text. I will put this in the description.
And we talked about remotion yesterday, and we actually did a little demonstration where we showed remotion in play. So remotion
Of the app.
is it's a skills, it's an add-on, it's a plugin for that matter that basically does videos for you. It creates videos from a prompt, right? It creates dynamic motion graphics from a prompt. It could do your YouTube intro video, your outro. It could do your IG carousel videos. It could do your TikTok videos. It could do faceless videos. It sky's the limit. And it also gets better when you train it and whatnot. So it could become a designer powerhouse. Okay. So definitely grab that. That's a screenshot. Just screenshot that right there. And that'll be something that you'll be loading up into your Claude.
Type exactly this text. I will put this in the description. Hit enter. A permissions box will appear on the screen. Click approve for everything. Step away for a few minutes. Claude is downloading the ability to animate and render videos locally. Let us test the engine. I will create a simple 10-second video. Hit enter. Watch the screen. Claude does all the heavy lifting. It builds the folders and writes the logic. It gives you a local web link. Click that blue link. Your browser opens instantly. You now have a live video preview running directly in your browser. Setup is officially done. Let us make some money. Our first use case is a before and after Addy for a local contractor. If you run a service business, you just want to show your work. You want the phone to ring. You do not have time to learn complex software like After Effects. Open the AI Videos folder on your desktop. Look inside for a subfolder named Public. If you do not see it, do not panic. Right-click and create it manually. I generated a few before and after pictures using AI. Drop all of your pictures into this public folder. This next step is extremely important. Rename your images to something very simple. Name them Kitchen Before and Kitchen After. You must use these exact file names when talking to Claude. Go back to the Claude chat box. I am pasting a prepared prompt. I will put this exact prompt in a free document in the pinned comment below. Tell Claude exactly what you need. Define the text font and the text size. List your exact business contact details. Hit enter. Claude will ask for your approval to run the code. Click approve. In few minutes, you built a lead generating marketing asset. There are no timelines to manage. There are no keyframes to adjust. Just a simple text instruction. But look closely at this browser preview. Watch how the images move. It looks exactly like a cheap static slideshow. We could make this exact video in Canva in under 2 minutes. You do not build an automated AI studio just to get basic Canva results. If this solution just saved you from manually editing this, drop a like so I know to find more workflows like this. Let us fix the boring slideshow problem. This next step is extremely important. Look inside for a subfolder named public. If you do not see it, do not panic, right-click and create it manually. I generated a few before and after pictures using AI. Drop all of your pictures into this public folder. This next step is extremely important. Rename your images to something very simple. Name them kitchen before and kitchen after. You must use these exact file names when talking to Claude. Go back to the Claude chat box. I am pasting a prepared prompt. I will put this exact prompt in a free document in the pinned comment below. Tell Claude exactly what you need. Define the text font and the text size. List your exact business contact details. Hit enter. Claude will ask for your approval to run the code. Click approve. In few minutes, you built a lead generating marketing asset. There are no timelines to manage. There are no keyframes to adjust. Just a simple text instruction. But look closely at this browser preview. Watch how the images move. It looks exactly like a cheap static slideshow. We could make this exact video in Canva in under 2 minutes. You do not build an automated AI studio just to get basic Canva results. If this solution just saved you from manually editing this, drop a like so I know to find more workflows like this. Let us fix the boring slideshow problem. Go back to the chat box. Type, I want a scanner mask reveal effect that looks like After Effects. Tell it to update the text animations to slide in from the left. Hit enter. Claude rewrites the code. Look at the new results in your browser. Now it looks futuristic. Now it looks highly advanced. Remember this rule for AI video generation. You will almost never get the perfect result on the very first shot. You must keep talking to Claude. You change small things until you get the exact result you want. That was a simple local ad. But what if you need high-end production value? Let us talk about that cinematic intro from the very beginning of this video. You want channel credibility without hiring an expensive motion graphics editor. Go back to Claude. Type, build a 30-second futuristic intro. Use strict colors, black, white, and neon green. Build a working loading bar that calculates math perfectly from 0 to 100%. Animate the text sharply on the screen. Hit enter. Think about the traditional editing process for a moment. If you asked a human editor to keyframe that loading bar, it takes 30 minutes of precise math. They have to ease the keyframes manually. They have to synchronize the numbers with the bar growth. Claude calculates all of that math and writes the code instantly. Look at the browser preview. The exact look on the first shot. This is the result of a few attempts and a few quick chats. But there is a massive problem here. All of these videos we just made are completely silent. They do not have sound. A professional commercial requires perfectly layered audio. Now for the grand finale, we're going to solve the audio problem and build a premium television commercial for an energy drink called Apex. I generated 5 slow motion product clips using AI video generators. I generated a deep gritty voiceover using 11 Labs. I generated a heavy bass track using an AI music generator. Open the public folder. Drop all 5 video files inside. Drop the voiceover file and the music track inside. Go to the Claude chat box. Type, build a 30-second cinematic commercial. Crossfade the 5 videos smoothly. Add the voiceover audio file at full volume. Add the background music file at 15% volume so it does not drown out the voice. Animate cinematic text. Claude writes the code and renders the first draft. Look at the browser preview.
5 a.m. The rest of the world is still sleeping, but you have an empire to build. Every second counts. An average just isn't in your vocabulary. When the grind demands more, you need an unfair advantage. Enter Apex.
The first draft is usually good, but it is rarely perfect. Listen to the audio playing in the preview. The audio tracks are completely overlapping. Look at the screen. The white text is blending into the bright video background. It is incredibly hard to read. Do not panic, do not open the code panel, do not try to fix the software yourself. You step away from being an editor. You just act like an art director. You talk to Claude in plain English. Go to the chat box. Few things. First, fix the audio overlap so the music and voiceover only play exactly once. Second, make the font completely thicker. Hit enter. Claude instantly recreate the code. Claude rewrites the correct logic in seconds. Now, look at what we created.
5 a.m. The world is sleeping, but you have an empire to build. Enter Apex. Clean energy, laser focus, zero crash, because average is not an option. Apex, fuel your drive.
We have a flawless, highly premium commercial. The audio is perfectly balanced. The text pops cleanly off the screen. You do not need to know a single line of code to do this. You just need to know what looks good. Give clear instructions and let the machine execute the heavy labor. When you are completely happy with this final result, go to your browser preview. Look at the top right corner of the window, click on the button labeled Render. Claude automatically packs all of the complex code into a standard, high-quality MP4 file. You can take that file and upload it straight to YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. If this replaces editing for you, subscribe. Because I'm testing tools that might replace entire workflows. See you in the next one.
All right. How was that? How was that instructions?
Yeah,
Was
that was dope there. Um Yesterday I know we was in class. I'm still at the point like them little bitty like little things in between when I was trying to install what
yes.
that was that first that was what that was called on that GitHub. I'm trying to remember the first one because I'm driving around right now. I can't really look at the screen, but it was that first GitHub you dropped that had all the tools and whatnot
Yes.
to run the videos or whatnot. So what I had to do, I had to install it manually through my Mac. So I had to play around with Claude to put every little thing that it kept like getting I kept getting read, you know what I'm saying, throughout. So I think I had to go like
Mm-hmm.
transfer on my Mac, but I ended up running out of coins running out of
Tokens.
tokens for the day. So it's gonna reset today. I do got the cloud code, so I'm gonna wait till it reset. I still got the workflow up, but I was getting through it though. But once I can get back to it, I think I almost got it like fully installed. So I did learn something new doing it that way.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I learned a lot last night. That was up to about like 2, 3 after we got off. So yeah, so I learned something along with that, but yeah, that was dope though. That was dope how he was able to do that, and that's a cool way to be able to catch some niches and you can work fast, man. Pump out a lot of commercials and
Right.
different YouTubes, and a lot of workflows or whatnot with that demo.
Right. And then he's showing you how to iterate. Like, there'll be some times where the video output might not be to your liking per se. You feel me? But it's
Right.
like you could tweak it, it's
Yeah.
tweakable.
You
So
just gotta have that eye for it, and yeah, that I had the cloud do the heavy lifting. Just really just got to get that. Once you get that code installed on your cloud, you
right,
kind of pretty much ready to roll.
right. We're gonna go to another video real quick. This is another Claude cheat code. let me drop this in the chat real quick though. This video right here is for Open Claw. It's a 3 hour Open Claw video. But it's great. I watched this. I took notes. You feel me? I learned. I'm enrolled in YouTube University. I've said it before, but when I'm not teaching, I'm learning. I'm upskilling and I'm dedicating my time. You feel me? I've been locked in for like 3 months since I've come back from Colombia. Like I've literally, if you see my notes and my notebooks and everything, you'd think I'm a madman. But I've been completely locked in. So it's like when things come across my table and I'm saying, all right, I want to, I'm learning, but I know that y'all gonna benefit from it. I am not gatekeeping. I am not one of those people because there are people that'll watch videos and then get in front of y'all regurgitating the video as if it's theirs. Nah, I'm sharing everything. I got enough original ideas and concepts and things that you know what I mean? Like I'm not lacking. You know what I mean? So this is a communal type of learning thing. And these tools are literally days old. Some of them are hours old. You feel me? So it's like everyone is learning together. There's no professionals and experts. Don't let nobody lie to you. Everyone is learning in real time, collectively from each other. This is the most each one teach one movement that I've seen in a very long time. It is a community effort. Okay. Um, so let me pull up this next video. This is dealing with the MCP, Model Context Protocols. It may be like, what is that? A lot of people haven't heard of that before, but it is one of the best things that is going to assist us in our creativity processes and whatnot. So they just dropped one for Higgsfield. Yeah, I know how I feel about Higgsfield. I've been touting Higgsfield as the creative suite, the go-to creative suite for a very long time. And they basically this week they made that the creative process 100 times easier, and they've made the possibilities of making AI film. And you're gonna see a flood of AI films. Like just prepare for it. Know that I said just get ready because the flood is here. It's about to be a deluge, not AI slop. That's not what you're necessarily about to see because with these new tools and whatnot, it takes away that AI slop, that whole wave, that had a lot to do with the tools. You feel me? Not to blame the tools, but the person making it, of course, is to blame, but it had a lot to do with the tools. Now that the tools are more upgraded and you can have consistency and you could basically focus on consistency and character development and whatnot, you're going to begin to see stories being told. And like I said before, the most important person in this field right now is the storyteller. Devonte, where the links at? What links do you speak of? Just let me know
I
because if you
just got
can't,
in, so
yeah,
I know you
damn.
be dropping them gems, man. So I thought,
Damn, bro. We linked up. You know what I'm saying? I dropped like one, two, three, four,
yeah,
five. I want you to get FOMO. I dropped 5 PDFs and 2 YouTube links.
Yeah, they
Um,
all they all in the chat right there.
nah, but when he comes in, you don't that's the thing with Zoom. When you come into the chat, you only get to see what comes afterwards.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll take care of you though, Devontae. Let's
but
do something at the 2 o'clock hour. It's 1:30 where I'm at. So let's do something at the 2 o'clock hour. So if then anybody else comes in, they be able to eat food with you. You know what I mean? I don't because if I drop them right now, somebody else will come in like, yo, where the links at? So probably around the 2:15 hour, I'll drop that for you. But we're
Oh
gonna
yeah, to
go into
add
this.
on. Oh yeah, to add on what you were saying about the flood. Where like when you go
Yes.
to Hicksville and you see that area where people dropping the movies dope too. I'd watched a couple of them. And I had saw an ad. I don't know how true it is, but They were like, no AI movie is going to get nominated for Oscars. I'm like, man, who cares, man?
They gonna make
Who
their own
cares?
Oscars. Yeah,
Exactly.
like
I'm like,
they
who cares about the Oscars? We'll make our
right.
own, man.
Right. They just showing that they showed their hand with that one.
Right, they
Somebody
show,
gonna
yeah, exactly. They show
yeah,
like, oh, okay, okay. Oh, they know what
right.
the floodgates for to open up.
Floodgates finna open. Because really, to be honest, I don't think that people are aiming for an Oscar with AI filmmaking more. So they want to carve their own lane. I think that the AI filmmakers want to put a stake in Hollywood's heart. I'm with that. I'm not riding for Hollywood. I'm not doing a strike with the Hollywood people. I've said before, if they cared about us, they would have had movies that benefited us from the black folk in Hollywood all the way down to the most palest. Yet they could miss me with all of the boo-ha. Oh, they using I don't care. Y'all didn't have no power in Hollywood, all of them black faces. I don't care. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Miss me with all of that. Y'all are part of the problem. This is a weapon. It's not entertainment. Hollywood is a weapon. People have literally sold their souls to be a part of that machine and they weaponize our images against us. I'm good. I'm going to make my own films, our own narratives, and we're going to create our own stars. You know what I mean? No more, oh, I got to get my screenplay green lit. No, we green lit everything over here on our own. That is literally what the Imaginarium and the fantasy complex industry, that is our constitution. We're not doing this to get recognized by Hollywood. If they want to throw a check at us, we're going to take that and we're going to eat it up, but we'll never, ever, we'll never be in bed with them. We'll never be in bed with them. If they want consultations or something, maybe. You know what I'm talking about? But nah, this should be this should be decentralized and democratized to where the people are in the ownership position. IP is the most important thing in America. America don't ship nothing but IP. Trust me, America's one of their biggest gross domestic products is intellectual property. They got Mickey Mouse, you know what I mean? Darth Vader, Star Wars, like that's what they shifted from warehouse and other things. They let China do all of the manufacturing. America is built on IP. Trust me. You don't see no Mexican, African IP in America. You don't see none of it is not to say that they don't have that. They're not letting Beyonce from the Nigerian Nollywood proliferate American the American channels. No, everything in America is the IP of America. They'll let a little thing slip in like Squid Games, but if Squid Games came to Netflix, please believe that they control all of that IP. They bought the licensing and they're controlling a large portion of it. That's why they'll let Americans watch it. So I want to infiltrate China, India, Africa. You know what I'm saying? With our IP. You know, I'm talking about our stories, our heroes, our folklore, our quote unquote mythos needs to penetrate those markets and we need to monetize and we need to pay us in crypto or shit, pay us in gold or whatever. But that's where because look, our IP is everywhere around the world right now in the form of hip hop. So the seeding has already taken place. You just got to fill in the blanks. Where's the love stories at? Where's the stories about the 90s at? Where's the coming of age stories? Where's Black Wall Street told through the lens of hip hop? You know what I'm saying? Where's all of these stories at? Where's the Zulu War against the British told through the lens of our eyes and you know what I mean? All of that type of stuff. Where's the real story about what happened in the Americas when we were the indigenous running shit, beating them at war so the rest of the world could watch that? That's the type of IP that I'm talking about. That's what's going to make everybody in this chat very wealthy in the future. That's what's going to make you fire your boss and be able to be like, yo, I got a piece of ass, I got something in my portfolio that's literally I'm going to pass down to my children. We're going to make toys and clothes out of this 100 years from now, recurring, and I own it. That's what we're talking about. And remind me to go to the website called Story, right? I meant to say I told y'all to remind me yesterday, but it's all good because we was cooking and we was like 3 hours in. Story is what Chicago Bitcoin Bully showed us when we did Pay Us in Crypto workshop. Story is a website where you literally could take your IP and now tokenize it. It's the one stop shop to where you could turn one of your art pieces, anything that you create, into an asset.
Hey, Red, can you
Yes.
just pardon? Could you just expound a little bit on that IP? I hear that word a lot, and I don't know which class to watch to get caught up on that. But what is the
Yes.
IP? How do you get it? What do you like? What like you know? I understand it's probably an acronym for intellectual property.
Yeah.
However, all right, so you got it. Take it away.
Okay, awesome. So I would break it down in layman's terms and use examples, right? So Hello Kitty was created the same year that I was born. I believe Hello Kitty is out of either Japan or China, right? And Hello Kitty has grossed $80 billion since its inception. Okay. It's a powerhouse brand, right? It is a powerhouse IP, right? So whoever created Hello Kitty was able to Hello Kitty is out of Japan. So when the Japanese created Hello Kitty, what they did is they were able to copyright it and then trademark it. And as a result of their copywriting and their trademarking, which will protect it, right? Now they're able to monetize it. And as a result of them monetizing it, it became an asset, right? Now, this asset has been able to cross over into different markets. It went from local to regional to global, right? So Hello Kitty gets into America. Now they sign licensing deals. So when your IP or your intellectual property, the songs that you write, that's your IP. The pictures that you take, that's your IP. The drawings, the doodle, you could do a scribble scrabble doodling. It doesn't matter. That is your IP because it's coming from your intellectual, it's your intellectual property because it's coming from your mind. You didn't copy it from someone. You might have got inspired from someone, but we're in America. That doesn't that that's a part of, you know what I mean? That's a part of business. It's all good. They actually encourage that. Okay. So the IP is what it is that you've created out of your mind or your mind's eye that you copyrighted and you own, and then you can license it. You could turn it into a cartoon. You could turn it into a clothing. You could put that image, that saying. You know, when black people come up with sayings and whatnot, the new thing is you the birthday. Somebody can claim IP on that. They can trademark it, copyright it. So when those people run with it and you know who those people are, you got to pay me now when you start running around saying you the birthday. If you put it on some clothing, you got to pay me. You have to license it from me or I will sue you and take everything from you.
Dig. Now, I guess that leads into you were talking about the IP keys. I think I wanted to get more understanding of because I think you were showing people how
No,
to get
that's API.
getting them mixed
Yeah,
up.
so
Okay.
API
All right.
keys
All right.
completely different than the IP. So I'll get into the API keys as well and give everybody some great insight because the API keys are very, very, very important. Very, very important, especially in this world that we're all in right now with the AI. Um, Let me just pull up this story thing real quick because I want to show the story website and then we could get into API because I have a tendency of jumping over things and not getting to the not getting to it. So I want to be able to get this out the way. Damn, hold on. Story IP. Okay. All right, story protocol. There you go. So let me drop this link and thing, and then I'm gonna share my screen. So literally, yeah, that's what the IP is. That's why inside of Fantasy Complex Industry and the Imaginarium, we are focusing on what could we create from our imagination. You often hear me say, go into your notebooks from when you were younger, go into your old notebooks, find something in storage and whatnot. Go into your childhood pictures. If your parents still have your drawings and whatnot, if your parents still have anything dealing with your imaginary friend, if you remember your imaginary friend, if you have a journal where you were writing about your imaginary friend, if you have doodles and everything, characters that you used to, draw and whatnot when you were watching Power Rangers and stuff like that, go back and get all of that, and then start fleshing that out because inside of that is where you'll find your IP. Okay. Inside of that is where you built worlds and whatnot. You created worlds and whatnot. So those worlds could now become monetized. Those worlds could be tokenized. Those characters are literally your way out. That is your bag. That is your quote unquote income. That is an income stream outside of everything else, of course. But that right there in what we call the creative economy now, it wasn't like that, but we're in the creative economy. So what is the creative economy? In the creative economy, I could launch a YouTube page with those characters. They don't even have to be literal. They could be static, which means they could be still, right? And it's just music playing in the background with me talking over it, voiceover. If you want to do it the real, that's like the most basic way. Then of course you could do it in another way where things are moving. You know what I mean? Mouths are moving. There's a voiceover. Each character has a distinct voice. You feel me? The characters are moving. They're inside of a world. That world, those characters, those stories, everything becomes part of your IP portfolio. If your character meets up with my character, we now share an IP. It's a crossover event, right? I bring the people that are supporting me. They introduce to the people that are supporting you. My network is my net worth. Boom. That's like called digital convergence. You know what I mean? And that's encouraged these days. So you could share your, you know what I mean? Tokenize your IP. So tokenization moving forward is going to be something that you're going to hear a lot about because JP Morgan, Wall Street, and the big dollar, the big boys, they're into securities and tokenization right now. So with that being said, that's going to be the new monetary system is going to be tokenization rather than this fiat currency that we're dealing with or this fiat business that we're dealing with and whatnot. That is being phased out. If you haven't noticed it, that is being phased out. Um, your IP will be more worth your dollars in a minute. Okay. People are taking their IP and they're shifting it into crypto, right? They're tokenizing it and they're shifting it into stable coins or crypto so it can maintain its value because the dollar is failing, right? So this will get you on a blockchain. This right here is called Story Foundation. It's a little more thorough than what we've seen before because it's dealing with the blockchain and it's dealing with smart contracts. Just as more security. You know what I mean? It's just more security and whatnot. So I would say to look into this. Okay. The IP asset class is 80 trillion. Say that with me. 80 trillion. So we're not just shooting from the hip. It's an 80 trillion asset class. So they don't teach us about the simple aspect of IP. Why? Because you'll walk into a record label owning 100% of your IP, and then they'll sign you up and you'll walk out of there owning 1%. Do you see how that works? White folks, their entire career have been taking our IP, monetizing it, copywriting it, trademarking it, and then throwing peanuts at us. But we happy for the peanuts because we're in poverty and they know this. And we're the most creative out of the bunch and whatnot. So they take advantage of us because we don't know certain things. And now we know it. So they can't take advantage of us. Don't sell your IP unless, of course, that's your plan. You know, I can't tell you what to do. But if you have a plan to sell something, to come up and whatnot, by all means, do what you need to do to get you where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? But if you're playing the long game and whatnot, you don't have to sell. You could license. You could license. And when that licensing is up, they could pay you for more for another license. They could renew their license, or you could move on to another quote unquote buyer. So the documentation for story is right here. Once again, these are not these are you got to study a little bit. You got to, you know what I mean? It's but it's not difficult. It's definitely not rocket science. Um, a lot. Do y'all see where this white page right here, story, the introduction?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So yeah, you could run this whole thing. You could highlight the URL, put it in the AI, and talk to the AI, Gemini, Claude, or GPT, and it will break down what this article is about and what this is really implying, everything that you need to know, things that you might have missed. You feel me? But this is the world's first IP blockchain. Okay. It's a blockchain designed specifically for intellectual property. You could register your IP on chain and add usage terms to it in seconds, massively lowering the barrier to the currently complex and antiquated legal system for IP. For example, enforcing you owe me 50% of your commercial revenue if you use my IP without needing time, money, or lawyers. That's the thing with the thing. All right, so there goes the white paper, right? So the white paper, I've always told people that the white paper is probably the most important part of anything that you're going to get into. It's to my understanding these days, if a business don't got a white paper, don't even deal with them. You know, and that's not to say that white papers are the end all be all that's going to protect people, because we know in the AI, in the cryptocurrency world, a lot of those coins had white papers, but they was out there rug pulling and things like that. So, but this is the Constitution. This is their genome. This is a business's genome. This is their DNA. This is their Constitution. This is their quote unquote information. Everything that they say that they're going to do, everything that they say that they're about is inside the white paper. So you get familiar with these white papers, and start writing your own white papers too. That's something that we'll be doing moving forward, when we bring back the fantasy complex industry. We'll be getting into that. So there you have it. That's the that story. That's for Akasha, right? With your creativity, what you're doing, with your, you know, hopefully you could look into story and even give us some feedback, because I know that you do a lot of research and you read the fine print and you're active in securing your copyrights and whatnot. So please, if you please, if you do have the opportunity, let us know how that works for you.
I have a question about
Yes.
the story. Do you have any examples of people who have used it and who have
Yeah, Bitcoin bully.
Bitcoin Boy? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
already.
Yeah.
It's, story look dope. That ties into Zora and Bass Drop.
Right. Right. So with Bass Drop and with Zora, you know, going to story first and securing your IP and locking that in is almost, to me, the first step. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right. Yeah, they secure that IP and then you just
Secure
go
the
from there.
IP. So it's like now once you secure the IP, you kind of like, you know, it just gives you, it's a different feeling now. It's like, all right, now let's go and monetize this. Rather than you're monetizing things and you don't own it, you don't have the trademark on it, you don't have the copyright on it. you kind of out there butt naked, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's a faster way. All in the hub through story. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that was key. Yeah, because that was before I really just make a major move. I was like, man, I gotta get this IP copyrighted. So I'm looking at copyright trademark. I'm like, shit, gotta put some coins on the side to get that going right there before I just start launching. So yeah,
Right.
that was right in time. Appreciate that,
Another
bro.
thing too, Claude, Claude has a legal plug that has a legal it's Claude legal, right? When Claude legal dropped, the stock market dropped with it. Like when Claude legal dropped, a bunch of businesses that were on the stock market, their stocks fell because um businesses realize, oh, this ish is so good, right? So whenever you see the market react, that means that that app or that tool is so good that it's a disruptor. So they had a monopoly on legality or the legalese. Like they had a lock. They had a monopoly on legalese where we had to hire lawyers, we had to retain lawyers, we had to go to legal Zoom. Like we was coming out of our pocket if we even wanted any type of representation to read a contract for us. All of that is out the window now. You could literally have Claude read every single line of a contract and break it down and say, break down the legalese or the Latin and tell that shit to me in plain English. So now I got friends of mine who are locking in with like, multi-million dollar businesses because they want their services and they're sending them these slave contracts and they sending that shit back, you know what I mean? With all of the X's on every single page, this BS. Like, nah, y'all gotta come better than that. What you think this is? And then the companies are like, damn, that was pretty fast. They kind of gauging like, damn, a regular lawyer wouldn't take this. So they don't even know that these people are using AI to check their felonious contracts that they're sending out to people. So use that to protect yourself. The first layer of protection, you could be in control of that now. Because you can't even trust lawyers to read your contract no more because they got lawyers that work for them. Like the record label will appoint you a lawyer to read the contract that the record label wrote. Make that make sense. The lawyer is going to benefit the label. They're not working for you. The label gave you the lawyer. you know. But yeah, let's watch this video about Higgsfield MCP. This is a game changer right here, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is a game changer. Trust.
You can now connect the Higgsfield MCP to Claude. As someone who uses Higgsfield all the time, this is a huge productivity boost. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can connect the MCP to Claude and start building up your own skills, automations, and workflows. So let's jump right into it. So we're jumping straight into the Claude desktop app. This is where we're going to download the Higgsfield MCP and start working with it directly. I have the Claude Code desktop app downloaded. So again, just go to Claude desktop app download it, sign in. Now to actually get to the directory where we're going to set up the MCP we're going to click on this button up here. This will pull up this left sidebar for us. We want to go to our settings. So click on your profile and then click on settings and then go to connectors. Here you can see a list of all of your connectors. And then as for example, I have Drive, I have my GitHub integration, which is not connected on my personal account right now. And then Blender, we're going to add a custom connector. Click add a custom connector. And then you have a place to put a name and then the remote MCP server URL. So we're going to name this Higgsfield. We're going to navigate back into Higgsfield AI MCP and then copy this MCP Higgsfield AI /MCP. So copy that and drop that URL into this MCP box right here. We have some advanced settings if we want. We're not going to be using any of that, but we're going to add this MCP into Claude. Now we have to connect this to our account. You have to have an account with Higgsfield to actually use the MCP. So hit connect. That'll bring you to a new page where you can sign in with Higgsfield. I'm just going to use my personal account right here. This will set this all up for us. So this will allow Claude to access our identity, basic profile information, and then our email address. So that's okay. I'm going to allow that. Let's open Claude back up and boom, we have the verification. We are connected to Higgsfield and we can start prompting in Higgsfield. Now, if you're not familiar with Higgsfield, it's pretty much like an all-in-one generation platform for creative AI, generative AI. So you can create images, you can create videos. They have a bunch of different templates and formats. I'm sure you've seen on social media, people using it for UGC or for ads. If they have a product, you can create ads with this. They have a cinema studio, which is new. You can create like TV shows in it. They have the new marketing studio where you can create marketing material for your products. Now this is all accessible via the MCP using Claude. So if you want to set up automations and say you have a product and you want 50 Facebook ads generated by AI using Higgsfield, you can do that using Claude via the Higgsfield MCP server and talk to it in natural language. If you're familiar with setting up skills in Claude, you can create skills to automate those processes for you in the future. Today, I'm going to go through a simple example of uploading a single. So to give you guys a really quick example, I'm going to drop in this prompt. I'm going to create an automation where you upload a product image. So if you have a product and you want to start advertising on Instagram, you upload that product image and it builds a complete Instagram and ad campaign workflow using this automation flow. So the first step is Claude is going to go on to Instagram and analyze Instagram ads, such as the current trends for 2026. The product category my image or product falls into, and then top 5 creative angles proven to convert on Instagram, color, composition, all of that fun stuff. Once that research stuff is done, it's going to summarize those findings in a brief before we're moving to step 2. The second step is the strategy phase. Based on research, design a 50 ad matrix across 3 dimensions. So it's going to create 50 different Instagram ads for your product. 5 creative angles, 5 setting background per angle, 2 aspect ratios, mix of moods, bright, airy, moody, premium, vibrant, and playful. Present the matrix as a table so I can approve before generation. The generation phase is step 3. So once I approve, the human approves, and I like what Claude has spit out, it will use my uploaded product images as a reference for every generation, use NanoBanana 2 for product accurate compositions, and then use Sol 2, which is a Higgsfield model, if any ads call for human models holding or using the product. Generate in batches and show me each batch as it completes. For each ad, include a short caption plus 3 hashtag suggestions. And then step 4 is delivery. After all 50 are generated, organize them by creative angle in a summary, recommend the top 5 A/B test, first based off of research, and then suggest copy variations for the winners. Also, I do want to mention too, in this research phase, I'm just going to use Playwright. Playwright just gives Claude browser control. So it's going to go to Instagram, it's going to scrape through using Playwright, and then it's going to spit out the research in this summarized findings brief at the very end. Then I'll move on to step 2. Okay, so just right here, I'm just going to add using Playwright, and then we can shoot this off. But before we do, we need to make sure that all of our parameters are set. So I'm connected inside of an ads folder. So you connect your folder, just so we're working in something that Claude can output all of our generations in. So say we like a lot of our generations that it gives us, we can have Claude spit all of those outputs into a folder on our computer locally. So it's not just living in this Claude session. I'm just on local. For edits, I'm going to just use bypass permissions. I don't want to be waiting on feedback. So I use bypass permissions for a lot of these workflow setups. And then for my model, I'm using Opus 4.7 on extra high. Now that we have this set up, I'm going to shoot this off to Claude, and it's going to start building up the automation, connecting to Higgsfield, and then ask me some starter questions. Okay, so it understands the actual flow of the automation, the 4 steps: research, strategy, generation, delivery, and then 2 flags before we start. I don't see a product image that we have attached yet. Obviously, we haven't uploaded anything yet. I don't have a product that has a business personally, so I'm literally just going to go to the internet, screenshot a random product just to show you guys how this works. And then it says Playwright. We mentioned Playwright in our prompt. It does not have Playwright installed in this project. I will walk you through how to set this up in a second here, but I do want to mention, be careful when you are reading these prompts. Claude does make mistakes, and I do have Playwright installed locally on my computer. I use VS Code and Claude Code pretty much every single day, and I'm slowly easing into the desktop app. So I don't know if this is a glitch or if there's just something wrong with my account, but I do have Playwright installed. But if I just skimmed over that and did not check the output that Claude is giving me, then it would have been using this web search, web fetch tools for research instead of Playwright, which is what I want it to use. So what I'm saying is make sure that you are constantly verifying with Claude, because it can give you the wrong output sometimes. It's not going to be perfect every single time. So let's set up Playwright so you guys can have this installed in your automation as well. So you're going to go over to this URL right here, github.com, Microsoft Playwright MCP. Just copy that, and then you're going to paste that into your chat box and just say, Claude, this repo and install Playwright. Once that's installed, then we can prompt Claude again to ask us those follow-up questions. So this is why you want to have your project folder connected in Claude Code. You can't even work with it without working in a project folder. So this will save inside the project folder and it will use Playwright for our web scraping. Okay, so just gave us output, repo is cloned, and the Playwright MCP is installed and connected. And then we need to reset our Claude Code. Claude Code only loads MCP tool schemas at session startup. So we need to restart Claude Code, exit, relaunch, for me to actually use the Playwright tools. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I've just restarted Claude Code. I closed it, shut it down, and restarted it. So navigate back to that old chat once you've restarted, and then I will prompt it that I have restarted and see if we are able to use this. Okay, Playwright is loaded. We are good with that. Now it's going to ask us our product questions. Product image, answer the 8 qualifying questions. And then once I have those, I'll kick off Playwright plus web search in parallel. But first, I need to find an image. So let's do this Olipop example. I like just how it has a clean background. If you have a product, then you'd upload your product image. But I'm going to copy this image, head back into Claude Code, and paste that image in right here.
Hello.
Do you want to play with me?
Sure. You want me to help you with your groceries?
And shoot that off, and then we will answer the questions. So it's just giving me pre-filled assumptions. So the product is Olipop Cherry Vanilla. That's the product. Brand voice, retro nostalgic, modern wellness. Audience, obviously Gen Z, millennial woman from ages 18 to 35. Perfect positioning. Premium mass sits between LaCroix and Poppy. So it's pretty cool that it recognized that. And then it's accessible. So it's about $2.50 a can. Hero benefit, all this sort of nostalgia, none of the sugar guilt, and then aesthetic and guardrails. Lean into the cherry vanilla, pink palette, cherries, vanilla blossoms as motifs. So it essentially answered the questions for us based off of our image. But if you want to change some things, you can definitely do that. Because I'm using a Miller Brands IP, it's just going to ask me some like verification things. Is this a real Olipop campaign or a hypothetical exercise? I'm just doing this for a spec ad. And down here, if you treat it as a spec ad, it's going to be okay. Just make sure you're giving credit where credit is due. If you're making a hypothetical spec ad, you don't want to be stealing people's brands. It could become a little risky at that point. Some hard no's, obviously no children, no medical claims beyond supports digestive health. And then for Higgsfield, is it going to auto pick the workspace or list workspace for you to choose? And then finally for the balance check, it's just going to verify with me that I like the ad that it is creating for the 50 plus generations. We don't want to waste credits on 50 plus generations and they come out bad. It's just going to give us a little balance check first before we start generating. So default plan, if I just say go, I'm going to agree to all of these. This all works for me. This is exactly the type of format I'm going for. So I'm going to shoot off go and we're going to let this build out. So it just opened up Playwright for me. So Claude is controlling this screen and it's going through meta ads and searching for ads that are similar to this product. And it's going to recreate those in Higgsfield with the image generation. So it said it searched 260 Olipop ads from the meta library. I can see UGC creator content. Step 1 is the creative brief. So it's writing this out for me right now. Okay, so it just finished up step 1, which is the research, and step 2, which is the ad matrix. It gave me 15 different ads with different settings, moods, and the actual Higgsfield model. Again, going back to Soul and Nano Banana 2. So I like all of these. These are all great in variation. And then for the approval gate, these are the 3 questions that's going to ask before it steps into the generation phase. So approve the matrix as is or swap rows. Obviously, I'm going to approve the matrix as is. The second bullet point is human model angles. So rows 6 through 10, let's just look at those. Holding the can, car dashboard POV, bathroom mirror selfie, office desk, couch blanket plus remote, cozy night in. Like it. I like all those. Confirm that these are okay for Soul 2 to use these. And the alternative is I can skip humans entirely, make all 50 products only. I want to have humans in it. So I just want to see the output with the actual product in a human's hands because it gives variation in the actual ads. Okay, and then it gave us our balance check. It's going to run the MCP and list workspaces before actually generating. Confirm to proceed that pre-flight check. I like all this. Give me some resources too, which is awesome. But I'm going to approve this and shoot this off so we can start building. All right, looks like it's loading up those Higgsfield tools via the MCP and the image is being embedded and it's creating our image. So perfect. Nice thing is doing that pre-flight check of the credits that I have, my provided workspace, and hopefully it doesn't eat through all my credits or I'm gonna have to reload it. Hopefully 949 credits is enough. We will see though. Well, we'll see how this does. And so if we look at this in the to-dos section, it's using the generate image feature in the MCP from Higgsfield to generate our 10 images. So it looks like it's working. I'm going to let this sit and give us our batch. I'll come back when it's done. Okay, now it is wrapping up the rest. So all 50 are fired. All of these jobs are queued, and it's going to generate all 50 of our beautiful AI-generated images for our ads. So I'm going to let this sit, and I'll come back when all 50 are done. Okay, and it just wrapped up. I am noticing right now, when I do go into my Higgsfield image gallery, I'm only seeing 8 generations. And I'm like, why is there only 8 generations? We just generated 50. It's because they put them in your gallery, which I personally don't use a ton. I don't really check my gallery. I just use like my image gallery on the image tab. But I'm gonna show you how you can get to that. But it did push all of those into the gallery so I can see all my generations. And so as you can see, I was in this tab right here, this image tab. And if I scroll down, it stops. I'm like, there's only 8 in here. You have to go to the community tab, and in the community tab, you go to my generations, and you can find all 50 of your generations for ads. And then we can pick the best ones. Because it gave us variations, we have 50 ads that we can pick from. So here is like a human generated one. Like it added the Olipop can in her hand. She's at a farmer's market. Here again at a farmer's market, this kind of cool retro-ish ad. I think that one's awesome. And now you have all of these images that you can upload of your product onto Facebook or onto Instagram or any social media. They give us a bunch of captions that we can use as well for each batch, which is really nice. So all of these generations live in Higgsfield right now. I don't want them in Higgsfield, and I don't want to go individually download all 50 of them into my project folder. So I'll just tell Claude, download all 50 generations in separated batch folders into this project folder. So I'll shut that off. Oh, it looks like it picked up form instead of folder. That's okay. It'll download all 50 of these, and then I can start uploading them and scheduling them in Facebook Ads Manager or Meta Ads Manager or Instagram and start throwing them out. You can also set up an automation to connect Claude to your ads manager, whatever platform that you're using. I'm not going to go over that today because I'm not super familiar with pushing ads, but I am familiar with generating images and using automation to generate these images. Now we're not at the automation part yet. I'm going to go over that after we download all 50 of these generations, but it's really easy to save this as a skill and turn this into an automation whenever you need a workflow like this. Okay, and so all 50 of these are now downloaded. So if I go into my files folder up here, you can see the output folder, and I have batch 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in each of those, we have a 1:1 aspect ratio, a 9:16 aspect ratio. If I open this, it's just going to be code. But if I actually go into my ads folder, we can see the output right here, batch 1, not 1:1. We can see all of these pop up. So it's organized that for us, and I didn't have to spend any time downloading into the right folders. Okay, but now comes the actual part where we want to save this as a skill, where essentially we just type in /ads creator, and this skill runs every single time.
Hints of fresh leather, bold new features. Get paired with our newest fleet yet.
Boarding will begin shortly.
Perfectly. We can always update it. We can always iterate it in the future, but I like the output that I gave now. Let's save this as a skill. So in Claude, you type in /skill-creator, this first one right up here, and then we're going to say, save this workflow as a skill that I can run anytime. Name it ad creator. So that's going to save everything that we have chatted with Claude in this session already. It's going to save that. And whenever we call /ad creator, we then have this workflow work for us autonomously without prompting throughout the entire process. So it takes a little bit of time to set up in the beginning, but in the end, it saves you time. Now this skill will still ask you to upload an image, but if you wanted to just use, say, like your brand guidelines or your product images, you could upload that into your project folder and it can just pull from that. So that's where the updating iteration part comes in the process. I don't personally have that, so it's up to your discretion now to play around with it, use it for personal use cases that work well in your situation, and then build on top of the actual automation or the skill. Okay, and so it just saved the skill as ad creator, and here is the workflow that's in it. Very simple, not technical at all. Now, if we want to rerun this, we have to refresh Claude, because remember, to use a new skill or to use a new plugin or connector, we have to refresh Claude. So I'm going to close out of Claude. Okay, so I just reloaded, and now if I type in /ad creator, it pops up right there for us. Or I can upload a reference image and just say make me ads, and it will call that reference. It will call that skill and verify with you that, yes, you want to use the /ad creator skill. So that's how you can connect the Higgsfield MCP to Claude Code and start building these creative workflows and automations inside of Claude. Super easy, super fun to do. So get creative with it. Drop some ideas in the comments. And if you like AI content like this, feel free to follow. It means the world to me. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.
So a few things were shown in this video that could benefit us all. One is how to make a skill, right? How to make a skill. That was huge. You know, a lot of us may not be familiar with Claude skills and the fact that we can actually make a skill, right? Skill creator / skill creator. That was a good one right there, right? And that's an automation, right? For everybody that's and you want an automation, that's an automation. That's how we create automations and whatnot to work for us. And also what was shown was how to utilize the MCPs, of course. I'm sure for those of us that were watching the outputs where he was able to make 50 different images of something. Let's go into this right here, AI ad agency, right? Y'all want to see this one right here?
Hey,
The
Red,
Hicksville.
drop that video, that link to that video, be able to go back on. That was powerful.
All
If you
right.
don't mind.
Oh, no problem. Let me drop that. So he walked us through the whole process, and boom, you know. And I'm glad that we all collectively get to see Claude at work. You know what I mean? Claude is a beast, as you can see, but to see it at work is a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? And to see how people are utilizing it, that's real good for us that are learning this thing.
All right, so Higgsfield just released their MCP, which now means you can use Claude Code to generate AI images and AI video without leaving the Claude app. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to connect Higgsfield to your Claude account. And we're going to go through a workflow where we're going to use Claude to generate assets for an e-commerce campaign like this.
So with these e-commerce campaigns, it just leans heavily into the use case that I was sharing with the fam about, being a entrepreneur, a solopreneur, taking advantage of these skills and then going into your market, whether it's your local market, your regional market, or even the global market, and then also the possibility of joining a design ad agency or an ad agency. Okay, that's also something that we are putting together. We're putting together a design agency and also an ad agency to help our brothers and sisters who need they don't want to learn how to do it. They want the results. They didn't come for the lesson on how to build it. They like, look, I got 500, I got 5,000. You know what I mean? I need results. Can you do it? And at what time? You know what I mean? That's what they're here for. And that's the arbitrage. That is where many of us are going to really benefit from these quote unquote upskills that we're generating right now. You don't want to sit on an upskill for 6 months, because 6 months from now, the market is not going to be the same. The market is not going to be the same. It's going to be more crowded and it will not be the same. Even the prices will not be the same. Right now, though, you are at an advantage. You could go ahead, you could walk into any business right now, you feel me? And you're an asset. I don't give a fuck if it's a walk-in business. It could be your neighborhood business. It could be the goddamn corner store, all the way up to high, what they call high fashion retail or something. You could solicit them right now. You could walk in there with your head up and walk out of there, and they'll be like, "Damn, that person just came in and added some value."
This hoodie feels like a weighted hug, and it's the one I keep reaching for.
And this.
Just feel the weight of this. It grounds me. That's why I never take it off.
Not only that, I'm going to show you how you can use Firecrawl to go out, scrape your website, and come back with a brand Bible that Claude can then reference in every single prompt that it feeds to Higgsfield. Speaking of the prompts, if you want access to all of the prompts along with a bunch of other AI workflows and tools, check out the link below this video. All right, to set this up inside of Claude Code is pretty easy. We need to open up our settings, add the custom connector, and then authenticate by logging into Higgsfield. So let's first open up our Claude settings and go to connector. So I'm gonna go back into Claude Code. I'm gonna click this little button up here, and then I'm gonna click on my name. I'm gonna go to settings. Then I'm gonna go to connectors. Then at the very bottom, I'm gonna click on add custom connector. Now we wanna give this a name, so we'll do Higgsfield, and then we need to paste in that server URL from the Higgsfield page where it says add a custom connector. So I'm gonna copy this URL. I'm gonna go back to Claude. I'm going to paste that in, and then I'm just going to click on this add button. Now, what it's going to do is it will add the MCP to our settings, but we're not yet connected. So what you want to do next is click this connect button. It's going to open up a new tab right now. So it's basically authenticating your Higgsfield account to Claude. Make sure you're signed into your Higgsfield account. I'm going to click on allow, and then that's going to refresh my Claude. And now when I go down to my connectors, we can see Higgsfield here is connected. So that's how you get it set up. All right, now before we start generating images and assets in Higgsfield, we want to use this with Claude. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use comfort as our use case in this video. They make the hoodies. So what I'm going to do is, again, just to demonstrate the multi-step capability of having Claude and Higgsfield together. I'm going to have Claude do a little bit of work. I'm going to say, hey, can you research comfort.com, pull the brand voice, hero products, visual style, and target customer, and then build a brand brief that I can reference for the rest of this campaign. I'm going to send that off. I'm going to trust this workspace, and I'm working in a specific folder on my desktop so that Claude can generate the output in that folder. So you can see this is the folder that I created on my computer. Right now it's empty, but whenever Claude generates output, it's going to go into this folder. So right now what it's doing is it's using Firecrawl, which can be a separate video. I have the Firecrawl MCP set up as well, which is going to go out and scrape the Comfort website and pull in all of the branding information, target customer, all of the products. While that's working, let me just call out Firecrawl real quick. So most of you are probably familiar with Firecrawl, again, topic for another video, but especially a web scraping tool that also has an MCP. So we can give Claude access to this tool, which will go out and scrape any website that we want and pull in a bunch of information that we can prompt in natural language. So this is the tool I'm using to scrape the Comfort website. All right, so we can see Firecrawl has done its work, and now Claude is using the output to generate this brand brief for Comfort, including a brand snapshot. We've got a brand voice. It's building a nice table here for their hero products, pricing posture, visual style. So Firecrawl, if you have not used it, is definitely cool. They also offer some free credits if you want to get started for free. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I do use them in Claude Code quite a bit. But we can see here Claude is still going. We've got our target customer, we've got our differentiators, campaign ready hooks, and you can see in the output we have the visual style, which includes the logo. We've got the color palette here. So all of this is going to be really good information for the assets that we generate in Higgsfield. Now, for the next step, let's see if we can use Claude with Higgsfield to generate a static meta ad using the new ChatGPT Images 2.0 model. So what I've done is I've taken a reference image from the Comfort website. So this image of this woman wearing this sweatshirt, and I placed it in my project folder here. So you can see I have a folder called source assets, and then under there I have images. And I've placed an image of that hoodie directly in there so Claude can access that. So what I'm going to do is go back to Claude, and I'm going to paste in this prompt, and I'm going to say, generate a hero static ad for the Comfort signature hoodie using GPT Image 2.0 with the Higgsfield MCP. And then I'm pointing the reference image pointing Claude to the reference image in the project folder. And I'm going to say, hey, pull the brand brief for visual style, mood, and creative direction. And I'm saying, hey, match Comfort's clean lifestyle aesthetic, feature the hoodie as the clear hero, use 9:16, don't do any on-screen text. You can kind of prompt this however you want. And I'm saying, hey, generate 4 variations so we can pick the strongest. After generation, evaluate each one against the brand brief and recommend the strongest variation with reasoning. So again, it's not just about using Claude to use Higgsfield. It's using Claude as part of the creative process where it's not only going to send the prompts, but it's going to actually review the.
Real quick, right? Do you see the benefit of having somebody who could speak the language, right? This man can be you, right? There's a 3-person, or there's a 3-tiered, or rather a 3-way process to get the best results with AI. It's the customer, which could be you, the expert, which would be him, right? Because he knows the language. He understands the lexicon because he's in this space. So for the people who've been let go, or the people who work these jobs, people that are in certain niches, whether you're in the niche professionally, whether you're in a niche as, if you're employed and you're inside of this niche, let's say healthcare. Yeah, I mean, let's say legal, let's say wherever, security, IT, right? You're the expert. You know things that we don't know. That's why we're coming to you. Then the third party is the AI. So it's a 3-man process. You, which is the customer, or you have a customer, the middleman, which could either be you or someone that you hire, and then the AI. You tell the middle person your idea. You tell the middle person your pain point. You tell the middle person or the expert your vision. They interpret it to the AI. They pull the tools out. It's almost like having somebody come to your house that fix plumbing, the carpenter, the electrician, the HVAC and whatnot. You tell them the problem. They pull the tools out. They know what to do, and they go and get the results. This is the arbitrage. This is how you monetize your skill set, whether you're working or not. It doesn't matter. You can solicit. You could go on Fiverr. You could go on Upwork. You could go anywhere where people are hiring people right now, and you can hire. It's almost like a consultation. $300 for an hour, $500 for an hour, $200 for an hour. Your time is money, especially based off of whatever rank or whatever expertise that you hold and whatnot. Let's just say that you are expert in in Hollywood and filmmaking. You know what I'm talking about? You're very sought after right now. People want you. That's why we're building these agencies and whatnot, so we can begin to be the arbitrage. We'll be the middleman that's going to point talent in a direction of people that are looking for that talent.
The output for us against the brand guidelines. So let's test sending this off and see how Claude handles the MCP request to Higgsfield. So it submitted the request for all of the generations. Now it's just waiting to get the results back. All right, so you can see that Claude has finished up generating those images. One of them got stalled and it reran it on its own. Now it's downloading them to the project to review them to see which one might work best in a static ad. I'll show them to you in a second. All right, so we just finished up and there's a lot going on here, which is really cool. So first, let me show you the downloaded output. Let me go back into our folder. And now we have this output folder, and then we have the Comfort Hero variations. And here are the 4 images that Higgsfield generated, right? So we took the image of the model and it basically made variations of her in different settings. So you could not only use this in a static ad, you could use this on your Shopify website showing off the model. So that's her in a bedroom. That's her in an armchair. I kind of like this one, actually. Let's look at the outdoor one. So this is her outdoors. It kind of looks photoshopped on there, I'm not going to lie, but that's the third one. And then let's see what they came up with for studio editorial. All right, I actually think this one looks pretty good as well. So that's the 4 outputs. Now, what we asked Claude to do was evaluate each image against the brand brief. Okay, so it's saying the variation evaluation, each scored against the brand brief, and it took each image that Higgsfield generated, and it came up with this scoring system. And it's recommending version 3, which is the outdoor one, actually the one that I like the least, but it's saying for a paid hero static, destined for reels or stories, V3 is the strongest pick. Here's why it wins. Okay, so we're able to have Claude run the generations in Higgsfield for us and then actually review the output. Now, real quick, because I know a lot of you are wondering about costs. As I mentioned, I have a paid Higgsfield plan. I'm on the creator plan. I'm not sponsored by them. I actually pay for this tool. And when we go into the credits, right? So Higgsfield runs on a subscription base. And with each subscription, you get a certain amount of credits. Those generations through the MCP, each image costs 4 credits each. And not only that, inside your Higgsfield account, what you can do is you can go to this assets tab and you can see all the assets that you've generated in Higgsfield. And here are those 4 images. So you can see them in your Higgsfield account. You can see the prompt that was used. You can see the quality. We did not specify. You can obviously specify that. We have highest quality here. So if you ever want to check the output in your Higgsfield account, just go to the assets tab. Now, this output is pretty good, really, as a hero shot. If we wanted to try to turn this into a static ad with text, we could certainly try and have Claude orchestrate this with Higgsfield. So I've got a prompt here that's saying, hey, can you take V3, the one that you recommend, use GPT image 2.0 to add copy overlays. So I'm saying same image, just with text layered in. And then I've got a bit of a prompt here about what we're trying to add in terms of the text. Again, just seeing if Claude can handle this as the orchestration layer. So let's fire this off and see if it will take our new generation, which is her outdoors, and add some text on top of the image. All right, so Claude just finished up. It says it created the variants. I haven't even opened them up yet, but it's giving us kind of a summary of each image, and it's giving us their recommendation, which is variant B. So let's go back into our project folder, and you can see here we've got these 2 new files here, these version 3 with the overlay. So let's look at that one. All right, the font is definitely way too small on that. Let's look at the second one here. All right, a little bit bigger. The bottom part looks good. The top clearly is not great. We could definitely iterate back and forth if we wanted to. So again, we could go back and forth to obviously make this font bolder and bigger. I do think the rest of the image looks pretty good, but let's keep going. Let's now go to the next step, which is we're gonna animate a hero shot with CDance 2.0. So we wanna take the V3 from the original output and use CDance just to see if we can animate this. So what I'm gonna do, again, is paste in a prompt. So I'm gonna say, now animate the hero static using CDance 2.0 using Higgsfield. I'm gonna point it to the reference image. Generate a 5-second cinematic motion shot, the opening hero clip of a premium DTC reel ad. And then Claude gave me some direction here. Slow, subtle, camera push in, gentle pastel sky drift in the background. Hoodie fabric catches natural light as the camera moves. Model holds the pose with minimal motion. All right, so we've got some direction here from Claude, and I'm asking it to save the output to the folder. And then once it's complete, evaluate the clip against the brand brief. So let's fire off that prompt. Let's see if Claude can use Higgsfield to animate this image with CDance 2.0. All right, so that finished up, and I noticed it faster inside of my Higgsfield account than inside of Claude. So I just went into my all assets and noticed the video. So let's take a look at that. All right, pretty good animation there. CDance added some music. You can see we're using the CDance 2 model, 1080p. And CDance FYI, is not a cheap model. We can see that costs 45 credits. All right, and now Claude is finally catching up. I guess Higgsfield took a second to get the information back. So you can see it's downloading the file. It saved it to our folder. So if we go into our project, we can see Hero Animated, and we can see the actual raw video file right here. Now, if you're wondering how is Claude actually watching and analyzing this video, I have the Gemini Vision API hooked up to my Claude account. That's a topic for another video, but I've basically given Claude the ability to watch and analyze video content. So you can see Claude is doing its evaluation of the video here in terms of the fidelity to the still, meaning does the still image actually hold the fidelity through the video, and it's grading it against the brand brief checklist. All right, so we've got our kind of hero image. We've got a static ad that needs to change the headline, and we've animated our hero image with CDance 2.0. Let's pivot a little bit and let's try to come up with a UGC angle here. So first, and again, this is all happening in the same conversation with Claude. No reason to go back and forth inside of Higgsfield. Let's have Claude help us generate a UGC creator who's wearing the comfort sweatshirt using GPT image 2.0. So we're going to paste in this prompt here. And again, we're going to ask Claude to pull the brand brief to come up with the primary persona. We're saying it should feel authentically native to TikTok and Reels. We've got a little creative direction here in terms of the prompts. And we're asking for 2 variations. And again, for Claude to review the output from Higgsfield to pick the strongest one. So again, let's send that off and see what Claude and Higgsfield come back with. All right, so Claude came back here. It created these 2 images. One is a brunette on a couch. One, we've got a blonde woman in the kitchen. So again, if we go into our folder here, now we have a new folder called UGC Creators, and we can open these up. So here is the first one. That is a really, really good output from ChatGPT. Let's look at the second one, and another very strong output. I mean, that looks amazingly real. I think both of those came out really well. So Claude, as we asked it to do, analyze and kind of pick the winner here. So it's going with creator B. It's saying the persona match is tighter. The emotional context sets up the hoodie reveal, and slightly tired but content expression are the perfect before state for then I throw on this hoodie and reset my whole day. So I do love Claude as the orchestration layer, who's not only sending off all of the prompts, but it's reviewing the output against the brand guidelines. All right, so Claude's going to go with creator B. I think I kind of agree there. And again, going back into my Higgsfield account, into my assets, you can see the output here with the full prompt that it used. So let's go ahead and use this creator. All right, we've got our creator. Now let's try to take the image of our creator and put her into 2 different scenes with the hoodie using CDance 2.0. So I'm going to paste in a longer prompt here into Claude. All right, so I'm saying, hey, lock in creator B. That's who we want to use. Now generate 2 UGC video clips using CDance 2 with Higgsfield. I'm pointing it at the reference images, which are the creator and also the hoodie. And I'm saying to use the brand brief, the voice should be warm, soft-spoken, self-care coded. And then we're going to try to generate 2 clips here, a native testimonial where she's sitting on her couch and wearing the hoodie. And then clip 2, more of a product showcase, where let's see if CDance can handle this, where she's pulling the hoodie over her current outfit. So 2 clips using CDance. Claude is the orchestrator. Let's send this off and see how we do. All right, so that finished up, and we've got both clips saved into our project folder. So you can see we have UGC clips here. Let's look at these clips. So here is the first one. There is our UGC creator. There is our hoodie. Let's turn up the volume.
This hoodie feels like a weighted hug, and it's the one I keep reaching for.
All right, pretty good as a hook. We'd probably speed that up just a little bit, but in terms of the quality of the video, the realism, the voice, pretty good output right there. We have clip 2 right here. So there she is. She's kind of mid trying to put the sweatshirt on. Let's play this.
Just feel the weight of this. It grounds me. That's why I never take it off.
All right, I think I knew we were going to have an issue with her trying to put it on. Let's play it again.
Just feel the weight of this. It grounds me. That's why I never take it off.
All right, so you can see the sweatshirt kind of appeared on her without really going over her. Clearly an artifact there, but otherwise, in terms of the quality of the character, in the consistency of the character. So let me just show these side by side. You can see how good a job Dance does keeping the creator looking exactly the same. Even the background looks exactly the same as well. And then again, we asked Claude to evaluate the clips, and it's able to evaluate everything here except for the voice quality. It's not able to listen into the audio. Overall, hopefully you get the idea of using Claude as the orchestrator here, kind of as a co-pilot when you're creating your assets. So that's how you set up the Higgs field MCP. That's how you use it with Claude. So if you think back to what we built, we took a single product URL from the Comfort website. We used Firecrawl to go out, scrape all of the brand information, and just using a single chat and going back and forth with Claude, we were able to generate some static images, animate those images, generate UGC characters, and then animate those characters with Seed Dance. So overall, I think you can build some really good workflows with Claude and Higgsfield.
All right. So there you have it. That's gonna be, we're gonna go ahead and move forward.
Yo, Red, drop that video too.
Drop that link. But we can definitely see, right, how these quote unquote tools, this MCP, could definitely, help any of us scale our businesses and our brands and whatnot. You know what I mean? He's giving you some of the possibilities, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Red, when using that, you showed us that GitHub with the free Claude code. I think
Yeah.
that's what it was. You think that MCP would work really good and save us money, at least on the Claude side, if not on the Higgsfield side? Or was there a free one for the Higgsfield? You shared so many with us, I can't remember if you had a free one.
Right. So that's a great question because I'm literally right now trying to figure that out myself. The free Claude, they made like their own. They made a free version of Claude called Open Claude, I believe. And I'm just trying to figure out how to set up that Claude with the Higgsfield MCP and run it. You know what I'm saying? Be able to run it for free. However, the cost average is coming from both parties, but I believe that it's coming more so from Hicksfield. So remember the free Hicksfield that we had? I think it was like 2 weeks ago, with Maupi, MUAPI. I would love to see if that creates an MCP. We would have to wait for that to create an MCP. If they make an MCP, then it's up. You know what I'm saying? Then it's definitely going to it's going to help with the bottom line. But this is my thing. This is why I'm pushing more so for B2B. I'm encouraging anybody that is in the business right now to go and get about 2 or 3 clients and OPM, other people's money and whatnot. They're going to be the ones that are going to buy you those, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 tokens, or they're going to be the ones who will help you get your enterprise account. Because as you begin to get customers, you utilize their payments and whatnot to buy these tokens, or, just to basically solidify yourself with these apps and whatnot so you can utilize them. Because when you have a client, you're going to have to do a lot of generating of ads and outputs and whatnot. That's going to eat up your tokens. So the money that you'll be getting paid, either it's down payment or front end and whatnot, that should go towards your tokens. That should go towards your tokens, and that should go towards, either if you're working on what you call it, if you're working on like a starter account, a beginner account, you want to upgrade it to probably a pro account, which is going to give you access to more tokens, and it probably will be a little more faster. Me personally, I'm going to Atlas Cloud. I'm going to wherever, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cutting costs as much as I can. So,
Hey, Red.
yes.
Hey, real quick, bruh. So we found that going straight to clean Hey, bruh, Kling got a deal right now where you drop 129 for the month and that thing drop you 26,000 credits, bro.
Yeah. I remember going over to Clean.
Higgsfield, bro, for a whole month, that shit way more. It's like two something, bro, and you only getting 3,000 credits. So you ain't
Yeah.
got that much room to mess up. But Higgsfield running the same thing as Higgsfield running at 3.0. And I ain't gonna lie, we got some examples to show. I just was running the shit while we was doing it.
Right. Now, Cling.com, going directly to Cling is to be honest with you, definitely one of the best deals. Let me just go to certain places. I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm gonna go to Malpe, I'm gonna go to Atlas, and I'm gonna go to Cling so we could all see. Because to be honest with everyone, I will go to Hicksfield and use Hicksfield when I'm kind of like figured things out. Like I'm not going over there to kind of like play around with the stuff because it's gonna cost you. That's the place that you go to once you've kind of like figured things out. You know what I mean? You know what you want. You know what you want to generate, and you just go over there and you do it. But to go over there and like play around, you could do it. It's just going to be expensive. So this is Kling. This is the straight up Kling app. Kling does everything. They are not the number one. C Dance kind of took that crown. Does Kling have an MCP? You know what? That's a great question. I don't think so. But I will look around to let you know. I know that they got API. Here's their API, right? I know that they have an API. Okay, they have an API platform. So what that means is you could utilize Kling in your app. You could utilize Kling on your website. You could integrate it, one click integration, accelerate your innovation. So you could integrate the world's leading video and image generation model quickly, build a video and image generation productivity engine, and boost your enterprise application innovation. So your website could turn into a video or a image generator, you know? And nobody has to know that it's Kling doing it. You know what I'm saying? Kling is the engine. You're the car. You're the car. And Kling's API will be the engine in your car. You don't have to tell anybody what's underneath your hood. So I know that they do that. They definitely do that. And there's the documentation. If you want to read the documentation, uh, then boom, it'll break everything down for you. But yeah, Kling is a beast. They do voiceovers, they do motion control, they do omni references. You know, what is an omni reference? Omni reference is I could take a video of someone and basically I could make that video like let's say somebody dancing, right? I could take somebody dancing and then I could basically take a picture and merge the two.
Red pillar. When the masters ascended, you bastards pretended like you was passing amendments, changing the law.
Y'all see it?
Now Freeman, like you was changing the God. Stranger things, like you was strange to the God. Trembling, plain you a fraud. How could you claim that you God? Red pillar. When the
So that was a driver
You
video.
can see it. Yeah, you can see it, but it is kind of slow on my end.
Slow?
Yeah, I can see you dancing. I mean, you can see the animation dancing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that had a driver video that came before it, which is called a driver video. And all I did was I took this picture, which is called an element, and I merged the two, and then it made the picture start dancing. So on the internet, they got these videos with babies, they're dancing and whatnot. They got like videos of Donald Trump dancing and stuff. All of that is a result of using motion control, and Kling is one of the top apps that does that. So let's say that you have children that do TikTok dances, or you got a baby and whatnot, and you want the baby to do like one of those, the new hip hop dances that are popularized on like TikTok. You could take the driver video, which would be the TikTok video of the dancing, and then you could take a baby's image, a baby picture, or your picture, or an older person's, whatever, an elder, and then you can merge the two. It could be a cartoon, it could be your avatar, your cartoon, or your cartoon character, and then you could start making them dance. You know what I'm saying? And on social media, that's gonna be a hit. This is
Red pillar. When the masters ascended, you bastards pretended. And you was passing amendments, changing the laws. Now freeman, like you was changing the God. Strange things, like you was strange to the gods. Trembling, plain you a fraud. How could you claim that you God?
Now, as you can see, the physics on that is off. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they got to fix the physics and whatnot. But, it's definitely something that you'll learn as you play around with it. So, to be honest with you, I use Kling to kind of like test out the tools and everything. Kling is a great place to go ahead and sharpen your sword. So, you know what I'm saying? This is definitely I would say, and look at the prices. This is China. So, when you see China, you see affordability, right? How much is this? The ticket on this is very, very doable. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like maybe $6 a month, $9. I think I'm doing $10 a month on this, but I'm getting a lot. So Kling is a go-to. Y'all got the link for that?
Yeah, you dropped the link, but can you drop the link for the API, the Kling API platform?
Yes. Oh, it's inside of Kling, but let me pull it up. I'll drop that. It's almost like it's a standalone. There goes the link for that. Now the next one is Atlas. I'm gonna go to Atlas, and Atlas is another go-to where you're gonna be able to save your money, right? You're gonna be able to save your money, but you'll be able to train. You could either train these models, or you could basically use these models, or these tools and whatnot. This is like being in Costco's as opposed to being at the grocery store or the corner store. This is the Costco's of quote unquote tools. Okay. And then you click on discount. If you want a discount tool, you could click on discount, and it's going to show you all the tools that are on sale. Right? Now, if you look at the prices, a lot of these are very affordable, right? 9 cents a second, 8 cents a picture, 8 cents a pitch. Yeah, it's not even 8 cents, 0.008 cents. Open AI, edit, C dance, 72 cents a second. So if you get something that's like 2 minutes, or no, 15 seconds, you know what I mean? It'll be very affordable. It'll be doable. WAN. I mean, everything is here. Everything you can imagine. All of the American, all of the Chinese, and even some of the free ones, they are here. Um, the what do they call that? not safe for work and everything, the unedited, uncensored apps are here as well. If you want to do uncensored stuff, like, cut somebody's head off, stuff like that, violence, because you may be doing a violent, you know what I mean? You might be doing an N17, a NC-17 type of movie, you know what I'm saying? And when I was young, I don't know what happened to those, but when I was young, that's what was in the movie theater. You might be doing an R-rated type of movie and whatnot. You might want to show some boobs, you know what I'm saying? Who am I to judge? I'm not gonna tell nobody what they can and can't do. This is the app that you can do that with. Um, See Dream Edit. See Dream is the visuals to see dance. That's the visual. That's like the image app. And then See Dream is the video app. Now See Dream, that's the top one in the market right now. They're giving you cinematic videos. I'm talking about mind blowing outputs. A little expensive, you feel me? But once again, how much were people paying Hollywood, and how much were people paying Hype Williams, and how much people were paying quote unquote Marvel Comics to get these type of outputs? You have to kind of like weigh that out.
Yeah, Sea Dream is with CapCut too.
Yeah, yeah, they part of CapCut, Dreamina. Yeah, C Dream is a part of the same ByteDance, the same family behind TikTok.
Yo,
So
Red, what is
TikTok,
that happy horse all about? That height with the happy horse. Did you ever test that
mm,
out?
yeah, I got Happy Horse. I don't think that they better than Sea Dream. They right here. Well, these are all of the discounted ones. Let me take off the discount. These are the filter right here on the side.
Yeah.
So like I've been using Happy Horse. Let me see how much money I got. Okay. I'm gonna pull
Yeah,
up Happy Horse.
Happy was decent though. It was decent.
You,
Yeah, I had put something in Imaginarium off Happy Horse
oh
from
yeah, I saw your outputs. Those was
yeah,
fire.
it was pretty dope. Yeah,
Those was
from
fire.
chat. Yeah.
Okay, let me see. A man, a black man riding a black horse.
I think Hitfield got on Happy Horse too.
Yeah, they got. Oh, they got it already.
Yeah, they got I had hunt for because I had ran out of coins on Atlas. So I said, maybe go to Hitfield, man. I started strolling through Hitfield. I said, oh, they got Happy Horse. That's how I created them images. I mean, the videos.
Right. Right.
Another thing I had noticed when you be in the like the buy session, we be on the Zoom. I had just noticed that Gemini can take all the notes, and you can take all the notes, copy and paste them to your notes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, for the ones
Zoom
that like
does
come
that.
in, yeah, on
Yeah.
Zoom. Yep.
Yeah. Zoom does that as well.
Yeah, that's why I
And
was saying on Zoom. That's
right.
what I did. Yeah, I went up the right hand corner. Well, I'm on the phone anyway, but on the right hand corner, it got a Gemini. So I was just playing around. Said, well, let me just see what this do. And it gave me the whole like the conversation caught me up if I was just getting in.
Mm-hmm. Nah, it's definitely a bunch of things that we could do with that. Like I could take this session and turn it into a workbook with a few clicks, you know what I'm saying? With like assignments and all type of stuff. I don't be one to overwhelm, you know what I mean? Like, I know everybody got things that they need to do in life. I don't want to be overwhelming with the
Yeah, Claude.
assignments.
Yeah, Claude dope with that. It'll turn something to assignment quick.
The Claude you said?
Yeah, Claude did. Yeah, Claude with a D. Man,
Yeah,
like
yeah, they ain't
you get in
playing.
the zone, man, they'll print up something so quick, man, on the workflow and turn it to a PDF. You'd be like, whoa.
Well, that trick that we just saw on how to create an app, I mean how to create a skill, that was major right there for everybody. I hope y'all saw that backslash creator skill or skill creator. and then you could take your, let's say that you've been talking to Claude for an hour and y'all going through a bunch of stuff and you got results, you get results. Oh no, turn that into a skill because you don't want to do that shit again. You know what I mean? You're gonna it's almost like crystallizing your conversation with the AI into a quote unquote into a like a custom plugin, crystallizing it into like a gym, or crystallizing it into like a custom GPT, but only now it's called Claude Skills. And then when you go back, let's say a day later, a week later, you just summon that skill and then say, do this again. Only this time, do it for 40 UGC ads with black women and shea butter. And it's going to take that skill. It's going to take that entire conversation. And when you made 50 of them of a white woman trying on a hoodie, and it's going to change it into a black woman. So that will be for your clients. So let's say that you lock down a gym now. Boom, you lock a gym down. They want footage of working out in the gym. All right, boom, we got that. Then you go to the shoe store and you lock down a sneaker store. Then they want night, you know what I mean? Then you just change it up. So here goes Happy Horse. So based off of the information that I gave it, which was wild basic, you know what I mean? I wasn't very detailed. I didn't give him a whole bunch of intricate details. I said put a black man on a black horse, fire coming out of his nose, red eyes. It's in a dystopian world and whatnot. You feel me? And here you go. So imagine if it was detailed. So yeah, Happy Horse is I like it. You know, I love that. That's nice. Whenever you're working with Atlas Cloud, you want to download your quote unquote anything that you generate, you want to download it before you go and move on to anything else because it will not save it. Atlas Cloud is like a playground or a sandbox. It's not necessarily, it's not like Hicksville. It's not a home for anybody. Um, it's just a playground. So things don't stay here.
Red,
Okay.
Red, you said you spend about $9 a month on Atlas Cloud.
No, a lot more than that.
Okay.
But
What's a good strategy budget wise?
$10 to
Okay.
begin with. I,
Okay.
I I do $10 increments with them, and then when I had something that I really wanted to do, I dropped to 50.
Okay.
Because I knew I was like I'm gonna use this a lot right now. I think
Mhm.
Sea Dance had just dropped, so I was like, yeah, let me just go ahead and because I don't want to be looking at the wallet slowing me down. I just dropped it on it, and
Mm.
it helped me. It lasted for a while,
Mm.
you know. But yeah, there's a sale going on Atlas. And they are literally the first ones. They usually get things before Hicksfield. Okay. So just look at this as this is like your workspace. This is your dedicated workspace. It has API keys, workflows. This is yeah, it's dangerous. This is dangerous, you know? So these are presets, right? Similar to what Hicksfield has, right? Presets. You could put yourself inside of a preset. Let's see if this works. Okay. Take it out of Canvas into Playground. So y'all seen the difference just now, right? Canvas, which is node based, right? That's for those of us that are a little seasoned and whatnot. But shit, I would say test yourself. You get nice with Canvas. No, it's node based, NODE. You get nice on Canvas or node based generations. You're gonna kind of be real nice with it. You're not gonna be intimidated by nothing else. You're gonna be a little ahead of the crowd. So I do encourage people to learn it, but right now, that's a learning curve. This is more easier. This is a little more easier. So I will go with that. I was switching to Playground, Canvas, and then Playground. Playground is more user friendly. It's like boom, 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 and then boom. Okay. And these are plugins. So these will get you, you don't even have to use extra prompts. You could, I don't want a rowboat right now, but you literally could just create stuff like this, presets. All right. So these are presets. I clicked on this and it gave me the boat. I want to see the what they call that, the what's the word, minority report. I want the minority report output, and they keep giving me this damn boat. Hmm. Yeah, I think this is brand new. I remember seeing this. This is brand new. So this is kind of fly. I'll come back to that. Then they got API keys. You could create an API key. They have a dashboard. There goes my remaining credits. Um, I've been using it up a little bit. You know, they give you your usage history. You could go there. You could click on the it give you all of that. So you know exactly what you was doing, when you was doing it. Oh, oh, swear. Okay. So there you go. All right, cool. So like things that you probably didn't save, I think you could save it right here. Let me see. Yeah, there goes the download button. So boom. Yeah, usage history is where you could find your outputs and whatnot. There you have it. So yeah, that is Atlas. And the next one that I wanted to show you is Mopey, whatever that. Y'all see it?
Yeah, yeah, Mappy was dope too. Once you get everything connected, make the account, get the API key. Yeah.
Man,
And
man.
I think Mappy don't even does it charge. I don't even remember putting no money on
It's
it.
it's pay per output. It's like Atlas. You pay per output. You see
Okay.
the yeah. So the difference between them and a Hicksville is like a subscription, as it's a SaaS subscription as a service. These are more so pay with your outputs. You know what I mean? So if you don't use it, you just maintain your money. On Hicksville, if you don't, I could pay a monthly thing. If I don't use the tools all month, they still gonna charge me monthly fees. And it's like, damn, bro, can I at least do something? Like, I'm working, I'm busy. Like, y'all still charging me? Yeah. Over here, if you put your money in the wallet and you don't use anything, you could come back a year later and that money is still there. So for my budget, that makes sense. I don't got money to just be thrown away to these companies that got $1 billion bottom lines and whatnot. These are agents, right? So these are automatic, right? These are automatic agents that you literally could just click on, and once again, it's agentic. So it's gonna do the heavy lifting, so you don't got to do it. This will build viral reels for you. There's a Claude agent. Um, there's a cinematic selfie maker, an AI judge, a comic books crafter or comic strip crafter. Let's see what that looks like. So it says it's ready to bring your comic idea to life. Tell me about the style or the characters you got in mind. I'm like, cool. The DJ to Cosmos. using sound frequency to heal the world. Let's see how that interprets it. So like these sites and whatnot are like, you know, a lot of people don't know about stuff like this. So you have an advantage because you'll be tapping in to like tools and whatnot that's gonna get you front facing. What is front facing? Your social media. That's where you present your stuff in social media. So you'll be able to pop out in social media looking real good, and people will be like, "Damn, where I see you working." Da 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 da. And it's like, yeah, you don't give away the sauce. You know what I mean? Unless, of course, you want to, but you could just continue to put your product out there or your brand, and just get people used to seeing your outputs. Okay, full comic strip. uh I'll go with a sequence. I don't want to do too much right now because it'll take too long. A sequence. So they asking people, like, this is the great thing about the agents, because it's like they'll just ask you questions, and there goes your imaginarium, right? You're crafting this world, and it's working with you, right? It's helping you, but you're literally driving it, you know? You're literally driving it. So they'll ask you questions just to make sure everything is on the up and up, and then boom, you answer them, and then they get to going. They get working, you know? Saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of brain fog, saves you from hitting a brick wall, and it's also is great for other people. Once again, the three-man formula. You have a child, you have a student or a child, you're homeschooling, you're in summer camp teaching children, you have your own children, you have your nephews and your nieces and whatnot, you have your grandchildren. They're on one side, you're the middleman, and then there's this AI right here. There's Malpy. That's the AI. That's the third person involved. But you, the one in the middle, that's interpreting what the person on the side is saying. Oh, I want a comic strip, and I want to be in a treehouse, and I want to be playing soccer with my friends, and I want to have a elephant as a pet. All right, cool. Let me write that down. All right, Malpy. I'm gonna go right to here to the comic book crafter, create it and bring it back to my client, or bring it back to my child, or bring it back to my student. They don't even got to see this process if you don't want them to. You can just get the information, go and cook it up, and then come back, and then boom, present the output. And I've said this, I'm saying it again. Our best investment is a printer. Our best investment, one of our best investments, is a printer, color printer, laser or jet. If you have a corporate account, if you have like a corporate account through Uline or any of those, or if you have the account with Brother or Canon, right? You set it up to where they replenish your ink automatically. But if you could get one of those printers, the big boy ones, like if you could salvage one or you have access to one, I promise you, because people who can hold the results in their hands is going to convert better than if they're pulling it up on their screen. It looks good on your screen, your phone or your tablet, but if you hand somebody a poster, or if you hand them a comic book, or if you hand them a toy, or if you hand them something that they can is tangible now, it came in, it's real world, it's in 2D, you lit. They're gonna be locked in. They're gonna be locked in more. They'll forget about that shit that you showed them on the screen and whatnot, because it's so much thing capturing their attention. They're not gonna forget about a comic book that's right in front of them that they can open up and read and be like, "Yo, this is dope." A coffee book table and whatnot, a actual 3D printed toy, shit like that. That's going to separate you from everybody else on AI flooding the space. It's saturated actually right now. If you go on X, if you go on my IG page, it's kind of saturated. It's a lot of people doing it, you know? But that saturation is you don't have it don't got nothing to do with you because nobody is doing what you're doing. You're gonna stand out. They're not doing what you're doing. So you want to separate yourself from what everybody else is doing. All you gotta do is print this out into the real world. And the best thing to do that is have a computer connected to a printer so you don't gotta go to Staples. You don't gotta go through all of that. Or I got a copy. I got a place out here called Clash Graphics. I think I had shared that with y'all, and they ship too. Let me put that in here. They're out of Buckhead. They used that. That's who I was using when I was doing posters and glossy flyers. When I was doing Melanin Monday out here in Atlanta, I used to get posters done. You know what I'm saying? And Clash Graphics was my go-to, and their work is top tier. Their work is, oh, look at this. Okay, Auntie, I see you. So I wanted to create a DJ who's healing the world using sound vibrations and frequencies, and it did not fail me. You know what I mean? It definitely delivered a nice sequence, right? So now I have a story, right? I have visuals to a story, okay? And sky's the limit from here. We're looking at possible IP now, right? We're looking at a possible IP that I could put into my portfolio. You feel me?
You got the
If
link
I,
to that? You got the link to that? Where you at?
oh, the Malpy? Yeah, I'm gonna drop that right
Okay.
now.
That's dope. That's fire right
Yeah,
there.
that's fire.
Hella.
Yeah. And you make music too, correct?
Yes, sir.
So we talking about soundtracks now, right? Now your soundtrack powers her story. See how that works?
Yup. Yup.
She's driving like how Gorillas was driving the artists who were portraying them. I think it was Dell, the funky Homo sapien. He
Mm.
was behind it. There was a few artists that were behind the cartoon called Gorillas. You know what I mean? And that's how your music can drive this animation right here.
Absolutely. I need that
Yeah, yeah.
link because and how much did that cost? You pennies on a dollar.
Pennies on a dollar. It's
Fact.
it's it's yeah, the Malpy is like one
Mm.
of our best kept. I ain't gonna call it a secret, it was given to me when that's the thing about GitHub. That's why I love GitHub. GitHub is giving you all type of information, things that you ain't even ask. Just dropping it, you know? Then they got a thing upscale for print, right? Right there it says upscale for print, or create a composite page or refine the panels. So the agent is already he already knows what to add. You know what I mean? They've trained it to be for comics. They trained it to be ready to print out an actual comic book page. So I could take a whole day and just literally create a whole comic book or maybe a whole comic book series out of just having a story, what I, having a vision of what I want. Usually that's a written out story, and then I'm in the workshop. I'm just chopping away, right?
It looks
So
like
this
you could put photos in there, right, Red? Looks like you could actually add photos.
No, that's what I did. I had uploaded
Oh,
this
okay.
this was a
I don't know how
flyer.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I had uploaded an Imaginarium flyer for one of the Vibe Code sessions. It just so happened to have a sister playing it as a DJ, and then boom, that's what we get. So here's the Veggie Talk creator. Okay. Here's the Veggie Talk creator. Once again, these are all agents, right? But they will do the work for us as long as we are able to articulate to it what we want it to do. So you don't have to prompt anymore. You don't really have to draw anymore. You just got to be able to have the vision. Okay, so Akasha, this is for you because I know that you know you have your you brought the veggie thing into the thing. So animate the veggie, create a new veggie character, help me invent a brand new vegetarian character, a talking carrot. No, a talking soursop. Friendly. Green lemon. Okay. Who's the character for? All right, boom. Kids. What's the tone? Chill. What's the visual style? Fruit. Write the script, build a character. Oh. So here's a character profile, right? And the great thing about a character profile is it goes into your character Bible, but you definitely want a character profile because you could send a character profile to an artist, right? And they'll design it for you. Let's say that you don't want to design it. You could send this character profile to an artist. But you could also do this because ChatGPT, right, is so advanced right now that boom, I'm gonna copy that and I'm gonna go to GPT-5 and I'm gonna drop it in there. Did it take you to GPT-5 with me?
No. Are you using it and does Maapi have GTP5? You're going to GTP
They
5?
might. Yeah, they definitely might. I just jumped over to the GPT-5 that my GPT-5. I jumped off the app real quick just to see how it generates this information. Mm. Y'all in GPT with me?
Yes.
Okay. So I think it expounded more on it. Let me see. Yeah, it's giving it a little more dexterity. It looks like it's just expounding on it a little bit more. Um, and then it gave me the image generation master prompt along with the negative prompt, and then an expression sheet prompt, and then it gave me 10 short episode ideas, right? And then it's 30-second intro script. So what GPT is going to do, as you can see, is it expounds on it. It expounds on it. So create image, create images, character, reference sheet based off of boom. Then let's see what it does. full body character design, front facing pose, cheerful expression, professional mascot design, high quality 3D cartoon render, playful educational TV host energy. Yeah, so it got enough information right here. It's going to be able to knock that out. You know, it's going to read the language, it's going to read the text, and it will determine from there, how to design it. So what started out as just one idea, soursop, I want to create a soursop character, now broke down into a whole Bible, right? And that eventually could turn into IP, intellectual property, you know, because I definitely want to encourage everybody, don't play around on the internet. If you're gonna create something, you want to own that ish. You want to go there. You know what I mean? Like you want to create a product. Product sell. You feel me? Pictures on the internet don't. But pictures on the internet get people excited about your product, and it makes them aware of your product. Okay. So look how y'all see sorry, the sour sop.
Yep. So that's your AIP right now, or how you say?
My IP, yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yep, this is
You
my
could create
IP.
an API with that. I'm trying to understand. Oh.
Nah. I'm gonna show you the API in a minute. You could create,
Hey,
this is your IP that you could create. Like I could get a trademark. Um, I could go to story, what I showed you earlier, story, and I could basically put this on a blockchain. The character Bible, the character, the time that I prompted it out and everything, all of that is metadata that I will use in my quote unquote my IP filing or my trademark or copyright filing.
Got it.
And because I'm paying on ChatGPT, henceforth while I went over here, because I think I'm on a $20 account now. So it's basically, I could claim ownership on the I could claim ownership because if I generated it on a free app, I cannot claim copyrights. Can't claim copyrights because you ain't put no
oh,
skin in the game. It's theirs.
oh, Lord, dang, that interesting. I didn't even know that. I'm glad. I'm glad I went on ahead and paid that chat. And
Yeah.
chat was it was so dope. I was like, man, I gotta pay for it. I gotta go on here at least get a $20 plan. And yeah, that chat five, even take it 5.5, even take it to the next level, like with them cloud prompts you had shared yesterday.
Yeah.
And then like if you already chat already got your memory. So when you like put certain prompts in or whatnot, like on that cloud, I mean off that cloud prompt you had shared,
Yeah.
man, it break it down even more and create a even more better flow for you, setting you up to be able to show you, give you the prompts, the
Oh, all that.
fill-ins. Oh man, all that the workflow is
All that.
crazy on chat. Cause that's what buckle I do my setups on is on chat. So I was like, man,
Right.
instead of putting this on Claude, I ain't really got a lot in Claude. I got to transfer everything over. So I was like, okay, let me put some of these keys that he shared in chat, and then yeah, on that 5.5, yeah, it came up.
So yeah, 5.5 kind of crazy right now. I ain't gonna lie. And I ain't the biggest open AI fan, but I'm gonna go to the tools that work, you know what I'm saying? And right now, I could make this a video game if I wanted to, like right now. Like, you know what I mean? With Codex and chat and 5.5, it's you're gonna use like two or three tools, but people are literally out here making video games off of stuff like this. Like Angry Birds type shit, like Angry Birds, Farmville, and all of that. You could do those type of games now, right off of your you could create, you could be the owner of games like that. You just have to have a story. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people around the world don't even know what a soursop is. You know what I mean? So the fact that, we may be a part of a community that knows what soursop is, once again, now it gives you an advantage because your intelligence, your natural intelligence is putting you ahead of the crowd where they're doing watermelons and oranges. Now you're gonna go with the new fruit, the soursop, you know what I mean? And even your storyline could be about a new fruit welcoming or old fruits learning about the new fruits. Like, who is that? You know what I mean? The new kid at school. It's like, hey man, Miss Soursop from, you know what I mean, Barbados, me not FBA, and you can have a whole storyline just around new fruits and their properties and what they do versus like a GMO fruit. You know what I mean? Like all of this is so it's all your IP. This is IP. This is how you monetize ideas. It might sound simple, but trust me, this is what America is built off of right now. Okay? America's greatest exports is their IP. They used to have other things, but they don't have that anymore. They'll send their IP to China to make toys. They're sending their IP, they're sending emails and files like this, right? Character turnaround, expressions, character reference sheets. They're going to send it to China and be like, yo, make us some toys at 1 cent a toy versus what they was paying over here. Give us. I'm ordering 1 million toys at 1 cent. You feel me? And we're gonna get it in 30 days and whatnot. That's
Yeah,
how that works.
especially with that new prompt you had shared. I had created some stuff with it with the cartoon. No, it wasn't a cartoon. It's the toy render. Oh
Oh,
man,
the
with the
toy renderer.
chat 2.0. Oh man, I'm going
Okay,
back
let
through
me.
all the video, all the
You're gonna get me
photos.
jumped. Let me drop these PDFs in the chat right now, cause I could just feel people scraping the blackboard like I don't got those prompts. What the hell? All right, here goes the toy one right here.
Yeah, you gotta shut out with that boy is
Here goes the toy.
fire.
Right? Here goes the one for the toys. Once again, it's as simple as copying and pasting. It is not. You feel me? Don't make it harder. It's not difficult at all. I'm gonna drop like 4 of them. The next one is another prompt. And if y'all want to, I'll sit back and allow anybody to share their screen and show us the magic. Copy and paste, pull that thing up, put it in Gemini or GPT 5.5, and let's see what the results are. You feel me? As a matter of fact, I would definitely encourage someone to step up and do that. Here are top 60 Claude skills. The top 60 Claude skills and workflows. These are very important. The skills are going to make your Claude super powered. Think about skills like this. Think about skills like this, and this is how you look at it. And this is exactly what it is. Remember the Matrix, where Neo was in a room with Morpheus, and Neo wanted to learn karate. And he said, I don't know how to do karate. And Morpheus said, wait, real quick. He made a phone call to Tank and Dozer and said, upload karate skills into his neural cortex, into his brain, and they uploaded it, and then he knew karate. There was another scene where they were flying the spaceship, and she said, I don't know how to fly a spaceship. They made a phone call, fly the spaceship. Now she know how to fly the spaceship. See how that works? That's what Claude Skills is. That's literally what Claude Skills is. It's like, damn, I don't know how to make a website. Brrr, Claude Skill website. Now you know how to make a website. Claude Skills is gonna do it for you. That's literally where we're at right now. Claude Skills is that scene in the Matrix, you know?
And I remember you had shared something about Perplexity had upped its game. Are they still in the game now, or they been surpassed again?
Perplexity? You said Perplexity?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, Perplexity Computer. It's called Perplexity Computer, but the thing is, it's $200 a month. So it's like they like, yeah, we about to turn, we could make life easier for you, but you're gonna have to pay $200 a month. And they have something called Perplexity Computer, where they take over the computer, and the agents are basically doing your computer work for you. It will, like, so if I were in corporate, or if I were somebody that had a heavy workload as an entrepreneur, I'm easily getting that, you know, because it's the same. I would that cost that I'll be paying is the same cost that I'm either going to be paying Fiverr. I'll be paying an assistant, a virtual assistant. It's the same cost that I had an employee and whatnot. So it works itself out. But yeah, they want 200. So, in this, from what I saw in this space, people kind of sit around and wait for the price to go down. Or they wait for the shit to get cloned, and then the GitHub, the open source version of it to drop. That's how people, but stuff like that is for enterprise, it's for businesses, it's for people with business bank accounts, because they just swiping the card. They don't care. That's a business cost, you know? They got a budget for that. So yeah, Perplexity, but Perplexity as a I got Perplexity on my phone. Perplexity is my default on on my phone. Like when I open it up, then I go right to Perplexity, and I use them because they're the most consistent when it comes to up to date stuff. So like if an app drop and I don't know what that app does, I go right to Perplexity, break this app down, give me all of the documentation on it, and their Perplexity will pull up everything, YouTube videos, blogs that they wrote on it, Reddit, all of that is gonna be there for me. So they're good for research.
Yeah, because I got the Perplexity Plus. I think it was like $20 a month, something like that.
Yeah. How'd that work out for you?
It worked pretty good. I did build some workflows on it.
Okay, dope. So do we have anybody that want to show the workflow, if they want to share anything with these prompts? This is for the class, y'all. This is for everybody to see your work so they could be encouraged to do it as well. Cuz I could do it all day, but I want the students to do some things so other students could feel inspired to they can do it. So, I'm gonna sit right here and just wait for somebody to say, "Yeah, I got it."
Oh, give me a second. I just picked up. Let me get this order situated. Yeah, I got about.
You said that you got it. You said you was about to pull up.
Yeah, yeah,
All
I'm about
right.
to pull up. I had
All
just
right.
picked up an order. I'm getting back in the car. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Appreciate that. I'm also gonna pull up my cap cut before, because at 4 o'clock I might have to dip. I do have some obligations, but I'm going to show y'all. I'm gonna reverse engineer a video that I did on CapCut and just show everybody how I put it together. So once again, we get an example on how we could take individual clips of videos, stitch them together, throw some music on top of it, pull the captions up, and then boom, we have ourselves a commercial, a music video, or something to promote a product or an event that we have. This is some of the most effective, quote unquote, marketing that you can do right now, which is an AI video for your brand, your service, or your music, and or your art. My guy right there, he looking plastic. That's what's that's what's up.
Uh,
Is that Medici or one of the is that
yeah,
Mozart or one of them? Oh, that's
yeah,
fire.
yeah.
That's Kendrick.
Uh, Jamal is going through photos and yeah, so like I said,
Yeah, that's fire. That's like a
yeah, right
figurine or
there busting
whatnot.
out the coal line. Yeah. Then boom, went back with the goddesses. So how about you can see the detail. Let me see, let me go back. You can see the details in the arms, like a toy. Yeah, that one right there was dope. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I like that one right there. When you shared that one, I was like, oh man, this is cold. I gotta go all the way back now. Like, really kind of got to.
Yeah, yeah. I like those outputs. That's fire. That is
Appreciate
fire.
it, appreciate it. Yeah, I gotta get access to that 3D printer now. When you drop that prompt, I was like, yeah, gotta get 3D printers going now. Like you saying, like feel like something tangible, it'll be way different. Just people just seeing it online, you'll stand out. You'll be breaking head curve when you
So if like three or four of us get together,
just
I could tap in with I got a guy out here with a warehouse that got like 5 3D printers. If I could get three or four of us to say, yo, these are the images we want printed out, he could do that ish. I don't
I
want to
need
go to him
it.
with one person. I want to go to him with a little, you know what I mean, with a little bit of work.
okay,
So
yeah,
it's like the next time I come to him, it'll just keep
yeah,
increasing.
yeah.
Cause he
Ooh,
he
we
he
got
told me
minutes
he
to
was like,
work.
I want to work.
Right. Okay. Yeah, over time, man, even got to heard so somebody can start off with a good figure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Yep. Are you sharing more? That was it.
so that was yeah. I'm driving around, running
Oh nah, you
orders and
good. You
stuff at the
good.
moment.
Nah,
So
nah.
that's
Yeah,
all I
nah, no
had at the
worries.
moment. Yeah, yeah. I was,
I
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. That
Nah,
was
that
it right there for the moment. I had nothing you had.
that's-
Oh,
nah,
okay,
it's
I see
so
what this is because I saw it. 'Cause each prompt was the same, but I'm seeing the pictures on the side. And I'm like, what he want to do with this? And I looked at the good prompt. I said, oh, no, let me just add mine just to this prompt.
add
And then, yeah,
yours.
it came out good. Appreciate that.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna play this video. This is gonna be the finished version, and then we're gonna dial it back. We're gonna reverse engineer it. All right. So let's go.
is a major issue. Even Demetrius said, can't take it with you. Money is a major issue. Even Demetrius said, can't take it with 7-2 claws. We got 7-2 nobles who can make with you. Bread in the oven, we can bake it with you. Open AI made you open your eyes. Now to sunroof, open the skies. All white linen like the Pope in disguise. The motion is live.
We're here to make a change. We're here to make a difference. We're here to make a stand.
Autos moving on Ocean Drive. We riding horses, 400 Porsches, all black forces. We driving lamb chops from the sandbox of South Beach to the temples in Bangkok. Rubber bands pop. This is the boom bap that made the motherland rock. God, 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 God.
Right. So that is a commercial for the upcoming close that we got in Miami. I was able to throw that together real quick. And I'm going to dial it all the way back.
Yeah, Ray, I know you like running on E. I know you don't like the gas up, but your pin game is crazy.
Oh man, appreciate that.
It's immaculate, man. For real, I can hear it. I can see it.
Appreciate that. Yeah, gotta put them little pins together. My ghostwriters is out here working diligently. Or rather, not my ghostwriters, my ghost performers. You know? Okay, so this is how we put this together. I'm dialing it all the way back. So real quick, you click on import, right? This is CapCut. When you click on import, upload all of your different files, right? All of these files are generated inside of I think, what did I use? Hicksfield. I used Hicksfield and I generated all of these different 9-second, 8-second prompts, right? Then what I do is I drop them inside of the right inside of this port right here, right? You just drop them in the port, okay? And can y'all see how this is working?
Yeah, we can see
Okay.
it. Well, I can
So
see it.
you drop it down. I drop the next one. Then I drop the next one. So we're telling a story, right? Sometimes you're gonna move them around. Sometimes you're gonna move them around so everything is in alignment because you don't want the clips to be out of order, right? Like you don't want to be walking in the next clip you're in the water. It doesn't really work like that. So I'm just dropping the clips. I'm dropping them in. I'm not necessarily too concerned about the full editing job. I'm just lining them up. I'm just dropping them in at first, right? Then I'll do the process of rearranging them once I have them all inside of this canvas.
And you did that in Hicksville?
I did the videos in Hicksville, but this is CapCut.
CapCut, got
This part right here, where we are here, this is in CapCut. CapCut is a part of ByteDance, which is a part of TikTok, right? They say it's free, but in order to get the full appeal of it, you might have to spend $9 a month or something because there's certain transitions, there's certain things that when you send it to, if you don't have that plan and you try to when you try to send it to basically be rendered and everything, is not going to render it unless you upgrade your plan. And that could be wild frustrating because it'd be like, damn, I did all of this, but then you have certain effects on your video, like you have certain special effects, and those special effects are part of the pro plan. So I'm like, instead of just dealing with penny pinching, a little $9 because this is $9 well spent, as opposed to, you know what I mean? This is a $10 or $9 well spent. You're editing your actual videos and whatnot, and those videos is going to get you money. Okay.
So do you have like a link for that? And just for clarity, you go into Hicksville, you create that, you pay for Hicksville to create them, then you bring them and drop them over into CapCut, and then
Yes.
that's how it goes. And the music is in Suno.
Yes, I made the music in Suno. I'll show
Okay,
you.
so
I'm over
everything
there.
uploads to everything because you right now reverse engineering. So do you have like a link for this where you are?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
CapCut.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna drop CapCut. I believe it's CapCut.com.
Okay.
A dedicated folder on your laptop or a dedicated folder on your phone. This could be done on the phone. This is not I got CapCut on my phone. I edit on the phone. Like I'll be in the Uber in the back seat, or I'll be on a road trip and I'll just be editing. I'll be on an airplane sometime and I'll be editing and whatnot. You know what I mean? And I'm using it right off the phone. I could do Suno on the phone. I could do Hicksville on the phone. I could do CapCut. Now, also, when we went to Atlas Cloud, that's also where you get these clips. You don't got to be on Hicksville to get these 9-second clips. Atlas Cloud, with that price efficiency, right, can get you these clips. Now, and also, I also want to iterate. I'm going the photo realistic route because I just like photo realistic. That's my thing. You, on the other hand, or anybody out there, you could go cartoon with it. You could go claymation with it. You could go stop motion with it. You could do Disney Pixar. You could do Legos. The styles don't matter. It's all the same thing. I got you, Rob. The styles don't matter. It's all the same thing. You know what I mean? It's just this is the style that I go with. But I am gonna switch it up and do some different styles, FYI. But yeah, that's how that works. That's CapCut. This is how we drop it in. Boom. So now we'll check it out. Okay, we'll be like, okay, now we drop the music on them, right? So now we drop the track, right? So this is the intro. It don't really need no music yet. This is just a little. All right, when you see that, you like, all right, he's not in the hood. He's in Miami. There's the music. There's people are familiar with Ocean Drive. So it's giving you the scenery. All right. I don't know why I got a hoodie on in the summer, but hey, it's Red Pill. Then there goes Claudel, El Claudel at the waters, at the pier. So this is called the establishing shot, right? No voiceover, just the establishing shot. Is like, yo, we're here. We're, you know what I mean? That we're establishing that we're here. Where are we? We're in Miami, right? It's established that we're in Miami. You can literally see it. You don't need to. The clause is right there. The branding is there. So the store clause is there. There goes the main character. You know what I mean? Claudel is there, right? We're on Palm Beach, and then boom, we're linking up. So it's telling a story without saying anything, right? The story is being told without anything being said. Visual storytelling, okay? That's what I was able to get a prompt from Claude that gave me all of these steps. You know what I'm saying? None of this is just random. This is all I'm following shot 1, shot 2, shot 3. I'll show you that right now. Let me keep it in sequence. Well, let's go back to the thing. We'll come back to that. Let me finish this CapCut thing. And then we'll walk through the prompts, how we got to these prompts. Now, after establishing everything, we're going to get into the music. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into the music now. And the music is kind of like, it'll kick it off. So I dropped the music track right after all of this.
Money is a major issue, even Demetrius said. Money is a major.
Now, as you can hear, I'm competing with the music and this track right here. So you got to turn down the music. You got to turn down the actual track and let the music play, right? So that's what I eventually wound up doing. I turned the music all the way up to 20, right? 20. And then I turned this down. I turned the sound on the tracks down and whatnot.
The issue, even Demetrius said, can't take it with 7-2 claws. We got 7-2 nobles who can make with you. It's bread in the oven, we can bake it with you. Open AI made you open your eyes. Now the sunroof, open the sky.
You might have a scene where somebody is talking or you want to just, so what I did is I cut this. Right. So there's a razor that you can use. It says split, right? Right over here. You click on the razor and you can cut the footage, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I can cut the music and move it. Move this down, and I'm gonna move this. Then I'm gonna turn his volume up. So here's the effect.
We're here to make a change. We're here to make a difference. We're here to make a stand.
AI made you open your eyes. Now the sunroof, open the skies. All white linen like the Pope.
To make it a little more dramatic, you go right here and you fade it out. This is the fade out, right? This is how you fade the song so it could come in somewhat of a fade. So let's try that.
Who can make with you? Bread in the oven, we can bake it with you. Open.
We're here to make a change. We're here to make a difference. We're here to make a stand.
I made you open your eyes. Now the sunroof, open the skies. All white linen like the Pope in disguise. The motion is live. El Claudos moving on Ocean Drive. We riding horses, 400 Porsches, all black forces. We driving lamb chops from the sandbox to samples in Bangkok. Rubber bands pop. This is the boom. This is the boom bap that made the motherland rock.
So as you can see, there's more footage left. So I'll go in here and I'll add some more footage just to clear up that little space. Boom. Here's another trick that you could use. I slow it up. Right? I click on speed and then I make it slow motion, which extended the clip. So now it just and then there's something called transitions. So I could throw the transitions and the right transitions whenever the scene changes, right? It gives it more of a cinematic effect. Okay. Then there's another one where I could do effects, something called effects. Effects are basically how we can manipulate. We could do video effects and body effects, but this is gonna give it. See how that effect? You see how they made it look like a camera? Then I could throw this on them. I could throw the lightning eyes on them. So if I had the sound effects of lightning, it would be very cinematic. You know?
Yeah, that was that pay side. When you go on that pay, when you pay for that CapCut, that was that all that come in handy right there.
Huh?
I said that come in handy when you pay for CapCut, when you can get all the updates, like they be constantly updating you on new transitions and
right.
Yep.
Right. So as you can see, I added the luminescent to me. Leroy glow. I could even take the glow and turn it red. So I'm like, nah, I want the show enough glow. I could go ahead and manipulate the colors, as you can see, and make it red, and then the range, and then the strength of it. So everything is all adjustable. Y'all can't see it. It's not. It says it's paused. Y'all can't see it.
Yeah, we see it, but it is paused. There's nothing playing right now.
Oh yeah, because I made it big screen and it paused it.
Demetrius said, can't take it with 7-2.
So let's bring it all the way back and just see how it's doing it.
Money is a major issue. Even Demetrius said, can't take it with you. Money is a major issue. Even Demetrius said, can't take it with 7-2 claws. We got 7-2 nobles who can make with you. Bread in the oven, we can bake it with you. Open.
We're here to make a change. We're here to make a difference. We're here to make a stand.
I made you open your eyes. Now the sunroof, open the skies. All white linen like the Pope in disguise. The motion is live. El Clado's moving on Ocean Drive. We riding horses, 400 Porsches, all black forces. We driving lamb chops from the sandbox of South Beach to the temples in Bangkok. Rubber bands pop. This is the boom bap that made the motherland rock. Claws.
There you go. That's how it is. That's CapCut for you. You know, I'm not gonna say that it's easy, but it's not difficult. I promise you, it is not difficult at all. You too can knock out your own video clip and go cinematic with it. You know, you could go cinematic with it. Real quick, Rob, can you share like 2 examples and then I gotta go. I gotta cut out.
Yes, sir. Got come. Share this right.
Oh yeah, Ray. I had forgot to tell you, I had paid for that online for the Techno Bowl, but I don't know. I don't think I couldn't find the link though.
Yeah, I seen you the replay. That was
Bet,
fire.
bet.
Yeah, Techno Bowl was crazy.
All right, that work. Appreciate it, man.
It's loading up right now.
Whoever said something, it kind of was
Can y'all see the
dragging.
screen?
I could see it.
Long. All right, this one, this is the goddess's advertisement in Mahal. This is her book advertisement. So we also had, we made a song out of that. It's an affirmation, African affirmation in our book, The Melanin Guardians. Here we go. I am a sovereign being of light and love. I am a child of the
Yeah, go ahead.
cosmos, a descendant of the stars, a keeper of the cosmic flame. I am the inheritor of a legacy that is as ancient as the universe itself. I am the living embodiment of the wisdom, the power, and the beauty of my ancestors. I am not a victim. The beat in the song was made on Suno. I am not a slave. I am a sovereign. I am not asleep. I am awake. I reclaim my history. I reclaim my heritage. I reclaim my divinity. I release all I am whole. The video lagging a little bit, y'all. I am the creator of my own reality. I am the architect of my own destiny. I am the midwife of a new earth. I walk in the light of my ancestors. I walk in the power of my melanin. I walk in the truth of my soul. I am the dawn of a new day. I am the rising of a new sun. I am the beginning of a new golden age. And so it is. I say.
That's off your phone or your laptop.
That is the laptop. One more good one. You know what? CapCut about to take hella long. I got something for y'all. CapCut about to take all day. I got y'all. We've been over here getting funky on clean real quick. Look. Come on.
I think I ain't pulling it. There. Oh yeah. So it's going slow, yeah. Damn. Zoom got me going real slow. Ah. Okay, so there we go. Hey, look, I can't dance, but I can on here. This is go crazy. This that much I can tell you about. I can see this shit.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
You try to keep up with them young boys, huh?
Hey, that shit tripping out.
Try to keep up
That
with
shit
Chris
raw.
Brown and them, huh?
Hey, check out the Melanesian tidal wave. They didn't see me coming though. They didn't see me coming right here. They're like, what the fuck? Hey, watch out, nigga.
And watch them.
Nah, but we working on our the real story right here. We working on bringing these clips out of the comic book together. Waking up the real ones.
Oh yeah, that's fire. Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, we coming through. This is working together right here. This is an actual comic. This this from my actual comic line. This about to go crazy. The Maryland Guardians, they about to play.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, I know you short on time, my brother.
Yeah, nah, that's dope. Seeing the comic books moving and whatnot. I love it. I
Oh
love the
yeah.
yeah, like I was saying earlier about photorealistic, that's great, but there's so many other styles that when we make those styles animated, it's gonna look crazy. So that is an example right there. Comic books, making those comic books into cartoons, fire. You know, could tell a lot of stories like that. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I definitely want to say thank you. It's been a good one. You know what I mean? Okay, you want to play that? All right. It's frozen, God. You, Rob. Does it have any sound?
Nope.
Okay. I think the brother might not be sharing the sound thing. Brother Rob. Yeah. Brother Rob. I don't even think he can hear me.
His computer might be frozen.
Right. The visuals is crazy. I just would
Yep.
love to hear it. Brother Rob. You.
It knocked us out, y'all.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying the sound, the audio wasn't coming through, but I love the visuals though. You feel me? It was a little choppy, but we definitely got to see what you cooking up. Continue to cook up. You feel me? You definitely on
Yes,
the
sir.
right path.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
That
continue
was
to cook
wifey
up.
vision right there.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. You know what I mean? The fact that y'all working together and bringing y'all visions to life, you know, that shit is that's the chef's kiss right there. You know what I'm saying? So keep on cooking, keep making, and I like I said, I like the fact that you're turning the comic book animations into the into moving pictures and stuff like that. Just looking at it, it has a great effect. So keep writing. I know that you got a lot of stories, you know what I mean? And I would love to
Yes,
see
sir.
the animated versions of them.
Yes,
Ladies
sir.
and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for your time today. Thank you for your input today. Hopefully, all of the prompts and the PDFs that we dropped, and also the videos that we've shared, the tutorials, will assist you in your creative process. I believe next week, Imaginarium, that might be the last Imaginarium for this 90-day course. We'll send out emails and let everybody know about what's going on with that. But in the meantime, between time, every other day inside of Discord and every other day inside of both the Telegram and also the school community, there's activity. We're dropping prompt books, we're dropping videos, you know what I mean? We're keeping everything fresh. So please take advantage of that.
Don't forget, Red, to make
I
sure I
got
can
you.
get my access back because I don't know how I got cut out. I ain't just a
Definitely.
free Saturday vibe.
Right. Nah, I definitely got you. I'm going to my team right after we get off of this line and making sure we take care of you. If there's anybody else that need any type of assistance, my email is right here. I'm gonna drop it. Please email me immediately because that's the best way that you get the results because I send it to the team and they get on top of it. And if they don't get on top of it, head's gonna roll. So let's just, make sure that because I'm advocating for y'all, you know what I mean? So just make sure that y'all send the emails with as much information because that just helps the communication between the parties. All right. So with that being said, everyone enjoy your Saturday. Um and yeah, just stay tuned. You never know when you'll get an email about something that's popping up and whatnot. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, this replay, I'm gonna put it in school as soon as Zoom sends it to me. I'll have it up in Zoom by today, and hopefully the accompanying PDFs will be attached to it because there are people who came in here kind of late, so we definitely want y'all to have access to the PDFs. However, on school right now and in Discord, those PDFs are there, so you can find them. But we will take care of you. All right. So with that being said, peace, love, and light to the family. Thank y'all for your time and have a great day.